Sparkling. Going live. Hey,
You're live!
Woo!
Hey, it worked. Yep, there it is.
Okay.
EB.
EB58.
well.
Ebbe.
Share. Copy. It's a weird
I got the dash.
Yeah, he got the dash.
Boy, the microphone bar is right in my face.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. Cancel.
It doesn't matter.
Should I text Rick Wirtz and tell him we're live?
I don't seize it.
That's better. Is the green thing moving, saying that we have audio?
Yes.
Yay. Okay. Timmy just commented, I was just about to find a different whiskey podcast. What a dick. Okay, share, copy link. Ghost in the machine, but we made it, boys.
Yeah.
We lost a follower. Back down to 529, motherfucker.
We're going to get two tonight. We're going to get two tonight. Make you rue the day.
Join us live on YouTube.
Tune in and watch us all on our phones.
Yes. Isn't that exciting?
Yes. Hey, look, man, we gotta prep.
It's in the show notes. We have to do this.
Yes.
EB.
EB.
Publish.
Fucking sorry.
Episode.
What am I doing?
Episode. Share. Right.
Did you see that?
Welcome to another episode.
That's what I'm going to put on my
It sounds
feed.
like you got a cold. You got a cold episode.
Welcome to our episode. Welcome to the show. It's our show.
I don't know.
See all boost posts. There we go.
Okay.
I don't know. Episode. You know that stands for something really cool. EB. We just don't
Games?
know what.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get my soul. Oh, you got to be Johnny on the spot with our with the comments.
Yeah. I'll do my best. Start pouring.
Yeah, I meant from the YouTubes.
I'm out of gobs.
Sheets run.
He's apparently got this awesome gob shop right up the street, but they're probably closed at 9:47 p.m.
Stop. Drop.
Where live again?
Shut them down. Open up, gobs.
Whoa.
All right. Whoop.
All right, I've officially shared. I've done my
I got mine.
You've done your dudes.
I've done my dudes.
Like I put our phones down.
Okay.
I'm putting down the ferns.
Hold on, let me put my watch.
Done our dudes.
Put my watch on silent.
How do you think you watch this porn on that? With one eye or two?
Wow.
Well, if I get like real close, it's like it's in a movie theater.
Exactly what you were looking
Thanks, Siri.
Thanks. You dumb.
It is a smaller screen.
Yeah. That's
Okay. I'll just turn the cell tower off there. We're good to go. Bonk. All right,
Episode.
ready? Episode.
episode.
That's an Easter egg for those of you who aren't paying attention to our live stream.
That's right.
All right, ready?
Hold on. Yes.
Damn musicians, you know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure?
Yes. No.
Let's get to the whiskey.
3, 2, 1.
What's going on, everyone? It's Jay from the Wednesday Night Whiskey Committee. Finally back with another episode. this evening, before we get started, let's present the committee. Like I said, my name is Jay. With me this evening, across the way from me, is the long forgotten, the men of mystery.
I didn't forget him.
Well, I didn't forget him either.
Yeah.
The man of many modal mysteries enshrouded in secrecy, the Red Warlock, the man, the myth, the potential slam dancer,
Whoa, yeah.
co-host
I
and
can see that.
co-founder, John J. Feathers.
Hello, good evening, and thank you. It's very good to be back. I've missed it.
Yay.
We missed you.
And also with me this evening is Jay and Jason and Michael and Alan Whiskey.
Yeah.
Also known as Achipachana Owl. This man, he likes his vitamins. He's got a...
2 up, 2 down. End of an inning.
VA.
What the fuck did that mean?
That was VA, vitamin L.
Oh,
it's all things
he's
well.
throwing gang slang at me here. Woo. Apparently, it has been a minute. You're throwing this and that. I'm like, what, we scissoring? What's going on right now?
Scissor sister Al.
Doesn't know what to do
Scissor
with his,
Sister Al. That's the name of
Oh, come
that's the
on.
name of the episode.
doesn't know what to do with his hands.
Scissor.
That's all.
I don't know what to do with my hands. Wow, we just spiked the shit out of that. Okay. The Reverend Al Scart.
Greetings and salutations, all.
And missing this evening is the beautiful, the often imitated, never duplicated. The man has the nicest ass I've ever seen. Ass I've ever seen in my life. That's Michael J. Covino.
He must be Captain America.
Oh,
Ooh.
that's
Never
Whiskey's ass.
Yeah, never mind. He doesn't. Yeah.
Hi.
He is the ass. He's the ass of
I'm
Whiskey.
sorry. I forgot.
sorry.
My bad.
Whiskey's official ass, Michael J.
Scissor-
Covino.
Scissor Sister Al. Yeah, Mikey couldn't be here with us this evening, but he encouraged us to please go do the episode. So the stars aligned, and most of us were able to do so. So here we are.
We miss him.
No, we do miss him. I miss his chair.
His squeaks. And
His socks. His socks.
Oh yeah,
He always had great
definitely
socks.
his
Great
ass.
socks.
Chair mogul.
Yes.
I love that guy.
Oh my God, yes.
Mikey, we miss you.
Yes. It's official.
So it is official. Well, now that that's done and we've picked the episode title, let's present arms. With me this evening is the lovely
It is. lovely.
Kimber 45 ACP Ultra Carry 2. It's been a minute. Actually, the reason I have it today is because yesterday I wore my shirt that says 45 ACP because shooting twice
is
silly.
Yeah.
And I thought, how dumb is that if I actually wear a 9? So I had
It would be
to
perfect,
I had to
guys.
match my gun with my shirt.
Right.
I did, and I decided just to keep wearing the 45. So as you can see, it is empty. It is naked.
Clear.
It is clear. It is without apparel.
And as I usually carry, the Springfield XDS, also 45 ACP, and it is clean
It's clean,
and clear.
crisp, clear.
I would like
beautiful.
just to make a note that mine's probably dirty.
We sort of assumed that.
Did
What's
you
the
just
smell like?
it?
What's
Smells like freedom.
Smells like
nice?
Yeah, so-
Nice.
Okay.
smells like John Browning's crotch. I'm matching my gun to my shirt. Wait, I just bring this gun. I am bringing the Browning High Power Mark III, the classic.
Yes.
I'm telling you what.
You know,
Why not? Why?
I think
anything
I'm
else?
Can we
one of
tell a
those.
story
Yeah,
of a
let's
lovely
tell a
lady?
story.
about a club?
Oh my
Ah.
God! Yes. The best club I've heard
Whether
of.
or not you know this, there is a official Browning High Power Club, and you're looking at the founding member of the said club. I joined the group 2 years ago.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did.
And Al, we kind of gave Al a temporary membership when he bought that BDM because it wasn't technically a.
That was like put him on
actually
probation.
right.
Yeah, it was a
John-
probationary
John
term.
Browning had passed
Yeah.
away when I released that, so it wasn't actually his design.
So,
But it's still a kick-ass gun.
But I will tell you what, I will give a shout out because I don't have anything really to give anybody, but I'll give you a shout out if you name the man in the chat who finished the high power after John Browning died.
Ooh,
Nice.
Yeah, he's the man who
Brad Lego.
he's the man who actually developed the Double Stack magazine, making it pretty much one of the first Wonder Nines. He was also
Wonder Nine?
Wonder Nine.
Wonder Nines.
Really?
Yeah. He was also the designer of the FNFAL, the best battle rifle of all time.
I've
Same
shot.
man.
I've shot that gun.
Mm-hmm.
That's a nice gun.
Mm-hmm.
That's a nice boulder.
Back to the club.
Yeah, back to the club. So, if you want to be in the club, basically you have to take the next step that Al recently just did.
Well, it won't be completed until Saturday, hopefully.
He's about to be released from his hanger-on status.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I
But if you want to be in the Wednesday Night Whiskey Committee's official high power club, basically all you got to do is, if you don't have one, go buy one.
Yeah.
It's any Browning high power will do.
Right.
And there
The
are-
ones, the twos, the threes,
The practicals.
the practicals, which is what I have.
an FN, a U.S. made.
No, it's got to be FN.
It has to be an FN.
Yeah.
Oh.
Are you still in hanger on status?
Oh man.
No,
but no, mine's
No, yeah.
yeah, mine's a
So
Mark III.
basically,
That's
if you
going
want,
to be
if you
mine.
want to,
my brother got in on the. He's got a practical.
yeah, he does.
Yeah.
Does-
and-
does
and
this shoot
warning.
consecutively.
It does.
Oh, cool.
My good friend Zeke Woods is in on the club,
Uh-oh.
and I think that's the whole.
Is that
club.
all for about $1,000? Oh, wait.
Oh, Kevin Siegel wins the prize. Kevin Siegel was in the club.
What do you mean he's not? He's not in the
He's
club,
not in the
I
club
don't
anymore?
believe Kevin Siegel owns his Browning high power anymore.
Oh,
dude.
But Kevin Siegel does win the prize.
Which
for
is
answering the question for like. I'm gonna have to pronounce some pesky Belgian guy's name now. Dudon Saev. Sure.
Oh,
Bless
Mr.
you.
That's
Saev.
right. It's right.
that's perfect.
Yes.
How could you go wrong?
He sold
Yeah,
it
I saw
about
that
an
by the
HK.
H&Ks.
Hey, that's
Yeah.
a great club to be a member of.
Oh, yes.
We're not in the H&K club.
Yeah.
No.
I'm not. Anyway,
I've never owned an H&K.
Kevin starts his own club.
He is in his own club.
He's the president.
Yeah.
And he's also
Good
a
job,
client.
What? You don't know what to do with the hands? Oh, never mind.
What the?
No, it's a hell of a good club.
It is a club. Yeah. So if you want to be a part of it, it means absolutely dick. But hey,
Yeah,
Except
membership
for the
dues
fact
are-
that you own
the greatest
the greatest and
hand-
classiest handgun of all time. I mean, yeah, that's not worth anything.
Nah. So
Yeah.
awesome. Moving right along. Let's move on to the media in the minutes, guys. I got squat. We have all been very, very busy with everything going on in our lives, which we will tell you about here momentarily. But I do want to give a shout out to Tim Cassidy. He is doing this weekend for our local listeners is the Bourbon and Bacon Festival, which is Saturday the 25th.
Hold on. Mike's not here. Bacon sucks. There, I just had to
Oh, man.
He's also incorrect. There is a Facebook page for that baby. If you go to type in Bourbon and Bacon, you'll sure find it. It's going to be a really, 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 really good time.
Oh, yeah, bourbon and bacon.
Yeah, how could you be
Dude.
wrong?
I mean, take either one by themselves. You got a great time.
Right.
You got them both together. Fucking
Right.
party on.
Yeah.
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 I think next year we do a bourbon, bacon, and browning.
Careful. We got a badass over here. So we just want to shout out one more time. If you are listening, please, if you are in the downtown Altoona area, head on over to the Railroaders Museum. I believe that's where it is. Pay the entry fee, whatever it is. We promise you it's going to be worth your money.
Yes.
There's going to be lots of different whiskey vendors, lots of different food vendors, and there's going to be some music, I do believe.
And when somebody goes out of their way to take a risk like this, It should be some
reward them.
Yeah, it should be.
Because any which way you're going to have a good time. So I unfortunately will be at work, suffering from a lack of bourbon and bacon.
I will be picking up my new Browning High Power Mark III.
He will not be suffering from
Yeah.
Browning envy.
Yeah.
So there's that. For the love of God, please go check out that event. I really wish, hopefully next year. We did want to be an active part of it. Tim originally approached us about being an active sponsor of the show, and we were like, look, hey, this is kind of going on with us right now. So we really can't make any sort of permanent commitment to it, but we will plug the crap out of it on our show. We appreciate him reaching out to us to help be a part of that. So please, we are urging you, if you are one of our local listeners and have nothing to do this Saturday, and are finding yourself with a need for something to do, please go to the Railroaders Museum and check out the bacon, bourbon, bacon, which way it's frontwards or backwards. Go eat fucking bacon and drink whiskey. God damn it. It's good for you.
Drink bacon and
Rick
Drink bacon and eat whiskey.
Right.
Rick Wirtz says what? Said I stopped practice for this. Jeez, glad I did.
Which since we're
But actually, put exclamation points.
Hey Rick, if you're that hard, why don't you come back here? Come back to work. It's
I know.
for the best of times. We're
Yeah,
about to have
that's right.
Suntory time.
Centauri time.
So yeah, please go check out the bacon and bourbon. That's going to be awesome. As far as like actual news, what's going on? Anything cool happening? Not really. That's really about it.
There's, I mean,
we're gonna get some
Yeah.
just some other things. And I do have some stupid whiskey trivia.
yes.
Whoa.
I found out.
What do we love? We love stupid whiskey.
So
trivia.
we'll get to that in a minute. Remind me because I'll forget. Rebel yell, just yell at me. Yeah.
Midnight Hour.
So
Mix it up.
let's move on to the presentation of whiskey. Being that Mikey is not here with us, we are not going to do anything new, but we are going to go back to a very, very, very favorite
An
of
old
ours,
friend.
an old friend. Boy, and I can't wait. Since I picked it up this afternoon, I have been having daydreaming about this bottle.
Yeah. Yeah.
So let's.
I thought
Without,
that was condensation. It's drool.
no, it's totally
no,
drool.
no, it's
Without any
totally
further ado, let's
Toki Wartooth.
Toki Wartooth this baby up.
Yeah. Tooth screw back.
For those
Mike
of
it.
you,
Glug it. Mike it. Oh, that's a good glug.
Well, not as good as Mike. I could still. I mean,
no, I mean Mike's got the superior
Yeah.
glug.
so just for those in the know,
Oh, that nose.
oh, you know what?
Jay, can I have your glass, sir?
Jay, you seem disorganized.
That was my glass. wasn't it?
No,
No.
that's your glass.
Sorry. We never rated this with Al.
Oh my goodness! So because Mike's not here, we already have his input. Is it okay to go ahead?
I would feel that we could
have
just
Al
add his.
officially rate it?
Yeah, we could have Al officially rate it.
Yeah, we're making history.
So
Right.
just so people know, well, I won't. I don't want to color your opinion. I'll give what we rated it
After.
It's really light. I mean, it doesn't have a lot as far as
No,
nose
it's
character.
Oh, I don't know. I get a good bit of nose off of it, but it's a light nose. I'll give you that.
I actually think I'm getting a cold as the seconds tick by because now I cannot breathe through my nose.
It's because of the episode.
Hopefully let's kill whatever's brewing in my body with this wiki.
Wiggy. Is it wrong to like whiskey this much?
No, it's really
I was
not.
gonna say it's
Mm.
it's really not an overpowering whiskey on any aspect.
Nope,
It's an easy drinker.
It's a good J
It's
whiskey.
a good.
Yeah.
It's a good J whiskey, but it's a refreshing.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's light. I guess refreshing would be a good way to put it.
Yeah.
The this was our and it's still been our only introduction to Japanese whiskey officially on our
On
show.
the show, yeah. There's some maliciously good Japanese whiskeys out there.
Absolutely.
This one's actually affordable.
Yeah, this
What's
one
the
comes in. I actually bought this on sale today. for $36.
I think it's normally around 40.
But normally it's about a $40 bottle, which for a Japanese whiskey that tastes this good and is this smooth, do yourself a favor. Get it. It's worth every drop.
It is.
I'm going to give it a 79.
79 for the big man. Al rates Suntory Al 79. Okay, that you gonna average it for me?
I am indeed.
Okay,
average.
so way back when, this was probably the second or third whiskey we had in the
Yes.
show, I think. After we had instituted, it's the second whiskey in my list, so it was the second whiskey after we instituted the rating.
Okay.
So, which means that was the third whiskey because
Right.
we didn't rate the Jeffersons first. I gave it an 80. Jason gave it a 75. Mike gave it a 76. Al gives it now a 79.
Oops. Wait, hold on.
You're fucking up, bud.
I'm fucking up, bud.
Yeah, put a B in there, and then everybody will know.
Episode.
Episode.
I gave it a 75.
Yep,
Mike gave it a 76,
correct.
and you gave it a
80.
what? My damn thing's not working. There we go. 77.5.
So it only takes it up one extra.
Decimal place?
Yeah, so it would take it from our original rating was we gave it a 77 out of 100
Half
with
half a-
Al's
Half a percentage.
with Al's
Half a point.
thing at half a point, which we would kick it up to 78.
Would you recommend it?
Yes.
Give it a star.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
I figured you would. So yeah, that's I even wrote the date down back in February 28, 18.
Wow.
I stopped doing that eventually.
Yeah.
I didn't care as much.
You just have the days continued.
Yeah, we're on day. I don't know. I wrote it down. So.
You made me look it up. You better read it.
Oh, I did. I fucked it up. Where's it at?
Ah!
It's on the previous page. So yeah, now that we've got some whiskey in these glasses, I would be remiss if I did not
Toast them on up.
Yep. We have some.
Catching up to do.
We do.
Yeah. But before we get there, let me give the wind up and the pitch. Guys, we have social media.
Oh, say what?
And I know it's been rather quiet over the last several weeks, and we are going to explain why that is. But we have a Facebook page, which some of you may have found the link to the live stream right now on that site. We have an Instagram. We have a Twitter account. We have a standard snail mail email, which is WednesdayNightWhiskey@gmail.com. We have a Reddit page, which I have neglected very, very badly. We also have, if you got up this morning, looked in the mirror and said, damn,
You need-
I need some fresh ass swag.
Mhm.
I'm feeling down and out, and
Yeah.
we need I need something fresh. Basically, what I want you to do is I want you to get on your computer. I want you to go to redbubble.com. Boy, have I missed that.
Wow.
/people/Wed Night Whiskey, and it'll take you to our storefront where you can buy our fresh ass swag. We have shirts, we have phone cases, we've got panties, maybe.
Do we?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Dude, if I
Onesies,
don't.
twosies. Yeah.
There's a bunch of shit there.
Jesus.
Good. Scissor. We just got kicked off of YouTube.
Here's YouTube.
Yeah. Who's YouTube? Subscribe to us.
Right.
What?
Oh, it's good to have everybody back. Well,
Except for
Mike.
So,
where are you at?
yeah, go get.
Oh, and he's not on here either.
I know. I did text him and let him
We so you go to Redbubble, you buy our stuff because honestly, it makes
it's
you
good.
it makes you a better person.
It does.
I feel yes,
It
like
does.
a very quality human being. Just wearing this.
Yeah.
And Mike designed this, by the way.
He did.
That's a good shirt. I like that one. I mean, that's your basics right there.
That's all you need.
That's all you need.
That's right there.
Right.
We also have this cool little thing called a Patreon. And what that means is and I know it might sound callous when I say it, but we basically want you to give us your money.
That doesn't sound callous at all.
Take us money.
Got bills.
Yeah, we got
do.
the bills, man.
This stuff is honestly not free.
And I believe once we hit the end of this month and we receive our Patreon's donations for this month, we will officially be in the clear
That's
for
good to
one
hear.
more year
That is nice.
if
to
we
hear,
choose
isn't
to
it?
do so.
Is there any other choice?
I don't think that there is. We're just going to keep on rolling.
Right.
What?
Through obstacles, we'll be here.
So basically, what I want you to do is I want you to get on your computer, your smart top, your flat top, your
interweb.
your black top, the black web,
Laptop.
whatever you
Black
got
web.
to
Deep
do.
web. Oh, the
If,
dark web.
we're on the deep
Dark-
web,
Yeah.
Don't-
if you've got two cans that you can tie together with a piece of string, you better twang out the following sequence of keystrokes. www.patreon.com. Haven't lost it.
Still got it.
/ Wed Night Whiskey or Wednesday Night Whiskey. I don't even know which one it is, to be perfectly honest. You'll find it.
Yeah.
Keep digging for it.
there.
And send us your money. Basically, what we do every time we post a show, you make a donation to our show, and we use that to further the show. Show.
I mean, that's what we're doing.
Yeah. Last year we started with 0 Patreon members. We ended the year with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And what in a short amount of time, our members basically paid for this year's podcasting hosting fees, which we can't thank you enough. And right now, we are going to toast those Patreon members. We have Rick Wirtz, we have Ryan Weaver, we have Tim High, Mario Ciccarella, the lovely Shannon Hoffman, Jeremy Nixon, and Mr. Scott Knoll. Guys,
We love
cheers.
you all, and thank you.
This
very
is
much.
for you.
Yes.
Mm.
I was actually just informed by Patreon member Tim High that he is experiencing some screw ups with the live feed. So, and it doesn't appear to be coming out of our end. So, I mean,
Who knows?
it might be happening out there.
At this point, it's we can't do anything about it.
Right.
So
Please bear with us.
yeah, and we have a coffee site, which if you're interested, go look that up because it's worthless. So I think that just moves us right into open discussions. And let me open it on a light note now that because it's still fresh in my brain. I stopped in to the Fine Wine and Good Spirits store in Crescent, Pennsylvania,
Oh my.
because I had some grilling to do,
Oh,
and I was like, I know what I want. I
Uh-huh.
mean, and Al's been there. He built the damn thing. He knows my shelf wall is loaded. I mean, it's got
It's a very good selection.
It's got a good variety of things on it, but I was missing one thing, and I decided, you know what, I got to go get me some more Tin Cup. How can you not grill with some Tin Cup?
Right.
So I
Right.
went and I bought a bottle, and the guy's like, "Can I help you?" And I'm like, dude, it's the standard line I give all the Fine Wine and Good Spirits store employees. I'm like, it's the chase, man. I got something. I got to wait till something speaks to me. But I ended up going with the Tin Cup. But his suggestion was, he goes, "Have you tried Rebel Yell?" And I said, we do have a whiskey podcast where I believe the only one that we haven't tried to this point is just the standard basic, the $12, $13 variety,
Right.
5th of Rebel Yell.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, "Oh, okay, that's cool." But he goes, "You know the story behind that?" And I said, "No." And he goes, "Well, you know that Rebel Yell is owned by Maker's Mark." And I went, "Didn't know that." I said, "By the way, you know that I'm
By
a
the
Maker-
way, do
you
you
know that I'm a Maker's Mark ambassador?"
Yeah.
So I felt like I
Did you
should.
actually say that?
I did. If I got a piece, if I got a cod piece, I'm gonna wear it.
Yeah. Right.
And he said, "So here's some stupid trivia," and it kind of paints the whole thing in a different light. Billy Idol was running on tour. Yes.
The Billy Idol.
The Billy Idol.
Okay.
Was hanging out at the Crest. No, he was on tour. This is what I was told.
Okay.
Someone can fact check me, please. I would like to know.
This would be good to have fact
Yeah.
checked. Yes.
But the story I was told is that Billy Idol was out partying one night with the Stones,
Okay.
and
Possible so far.
the woman in the song that he is referring to was drunk out of her mind on
Plausible so far.
Rebel Yell.
Ah.
So now when you listen to that song,
She cried more and more and more.
she's actually, it's not
Ah.
actually the innuendo that you believe it is. It's
Right.
that she was whacked out of her skull on
Alcohol,
Rebel Yell.
Cold. Rebel. Yeah.
Yep.
How about that?
And
That
I,
definitely needs fact checking.
yeah. But I was like, I'll buy it.
Sure.
I'm still buying this tin cup though.
I'm buying a tin cup.
And I went home and I drank probably about 3 fingers of that as I grilled one of the best
Grilling
London
and whiskey
broils of
is-
my life.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, it was tasty.
I like London broil.
I had to do that white person thing and take a photo of my food with my glass.
Did you really?
I did. It's on the old Instagram.
Oh.
Yeah.
Glad I don't sign up for Instagram. Then.
Yeah, I'm not on Instagram.
Yeah, I'm an old person. I go to Facebook.
To get our Instagram photos. So yeah, there's that. We have a small laundry list of things that we can talk about today.
If somebody has a suggestion too,
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
What do we
I
got?
have Billy.
Uh-oh. it's
autobiography
being mentioned.
here.
Kevin
Let me
Siegel is
see.
fact
Yep.
checking.
He is fact checking.
All right, cool. So Kevin's on that. Let's talk about.
You're good.
Well, since we're toasting. Yeah, you better give me some more of that
What?
disinfectant.
Disinfectant.
For
Not
the
Jack
episode.
Daniels.
Fuck, dude.
That's the disinfectant.
Let's raise a glass one more time. Again, he is not here this evening, Michael J. Covino. But if he were here, I know
he would.
he would, without a doubt, he would have us raise a glass to his grandfather, whose name escapes me at the moment,
Pappy Covino.
Pappy Covino. It is his birthday today.
Do you know how old he is?
I know he's 90s. I want to say mid 90s.
That's awesome.
That
And
is
he
awesome,
posted,
isn't
Mikey
it? Yeah.
posted a picture on Facebook of him with his grandfather.
Oh, that's awesome.
And I said that Mikey, he's looking more spry and fly than you are. Just I think,
Yeah.
or something to that effect.
That's
but
where Mikey gets it.
so absolutely. So let's raise a glass to
Glass to
Papa
Pappy.
Covino,
Yeah,
Happy
there you
Covino,
Yeah.
Happy 90.
Grand
Happy
Pappy Covino.
90.
Ish.
Um,
Yeah.
Cheers, sir.
Yes.
Mm.
To your health, good sir.
Yeah, scratch that off the list. All right, let's talk about the elephant in the room.
While we're doing stuff, how about we say kind of farewell to our seatbelt friend?
Yeah, we can do that too.
Uh,
On a semi, well, I mean, it's a sad note for those who knew him best. We're not
Sign
one,
up for the area.
yeah, we're not one of those people. Well, I mean, we are very. I consider us good friends with the wonderful human being known as Alex Hazard. He was the host of Central PA Live. Today was his official last day. He basically ponied up and said, "You know what? Screw you guys. I'm going home." No,
he
that's
didn't.
that's not the case.
No.
He was offered a better
Yeah.
job, I believe, back home, and he's from New York.
Yeah, it's only a matter of time till that
yeah.
gets offered.
So he accepted that job and is going back to New York. And what's up?
Rebel Yell story confirmed. Page 181 of Billy's autobiography.
Thank you,
Nice.
Head
Mr.
up.
Siegel.
Good
Thank
job,
you, sir.
brother.
Yeah, and you gotta give it to that clerk.
Yeah, so that's a bit of info that we didn't have.
Yeah.
Was it with the Stones? He was with the Stones.
Well, he didn't say that part, but
Well,
no, we'll
he'll
find out.
get it here in a
He'll
second.
get it. Yeah. He's on the
So yeah, today was Alex's last day, and I watched that video to see because he did a recap of all of his favorite moments.
with the Stones.
Yes.
I wanted to see if our picture was on it, and it wasn't.
Aw.
Fuck Alex Hazard. Who's that guy?
Who's
We're
that guy?
deleting. We're deleting some
Yeah.
Facebook.
All we're gonna Morgan Kozair is
Morgan
what
Kozier.
yes.
she gets
She
our
had
vote.
somebody with her
gets
the last
our-
time she was here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
some dude
Some dude showed
Yeah.
up.
in sweatpants.
Yeah.
But no, Alex, we wish you the best.
We did, totally.
We had a lot of fun, and I will divulge this small story. When we said that we were going to go on Central PA Live, a lot of people warned us. They were like, "Dude, you got to watch out for this Alex guy. He's kind of difficult to work with." And we were all like,
We were like,
we're
difficult. To
we're like,
work
we're
with.
difficult to work with,
Right.
whatever."
Yeah.
So like we had the first episode. He came into our cave here,
Yeah.
totally unknowing what was going to happen.
Yeah.
And we hit it off. We had a great time.
He was great.
And after he had left, he doesn't know the story. After he had left, we all kind of looked at each other and we're like, "Whoa, we don't get it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dude's an awesome guy."
Yeah.
And I've even ran into him a few times at I can say it now. When I was playing at Shan Nicole's in Hollidaysburg, that was a haunt of his.
Yes. Yes.
And he and we did shots together, had laughs and all the, So the area will definitely is going to be a little less bright
yes, it will.
without the presence of Alex Hazard. So, Alex,
I think we should definitely toast him.
have safe journey.
Yes. Best
Good luck
wishes.
with your future endeavor, and thank you for being a part of our legacy.
Yes. Godspeed to you, buddy.
So let's get that.
We're just checking stuff off.
Checking it
tick,
off.
Tick, tick,
Well, let's talk about Rick and Crew.
Okay. I myself personally would like to send a well wish and say that anybody who's not doing anything Friday the 24th, I don't even know if there's tickets left, so this might be I was going to say go get a ticket. I don't know if it's even possible at this point. I think it may be another sold out event.
Yeah.
If you have tickets, you're lucky, but I want to send out my well wishes to Rick and the crew at Altitude Entertainment. They're going to be putting on And in the End at the Mishler this Friday. Starts at 7:30.
That's the Beatles tribute.
It's the 50th anniversary commemoration of Abbey Road, my personal favorite Beatles album, and it should be yours too. No, I
don't have a personal favorite Beatles album.
Right? Yeah,
I'll adopt that.
yeah, okay, that's good. No, I just wanted to say, kill it, guys. I know they're going to kill it.
Yeah.
And I think it's a great thing that they're bringing to this, to the area. It is a super talented group of musicians. You will be in awe of these guys. I know that from having worked with a number of these folks in the past, I was definitely in awe of them. So yeah, man, well wishes. And if you got tickets, you're lucky, go see it. I guarantee it's going to be awesome. Best of luck and break a leg, guys.
Excellent.
Awesome.
Kevin also wanted to interject here. Also, according to the text, it was not a woman drinking Rebel Yell. It was Mick, Keith, and Ronnie Wood.
They're kind of like women.
Oh, yeah. I guess. Could be. Yeah, they don't know what to do with their hands.
Sister Scissor coming down the pike.
What?
I just dropped my cap.
God. Yeah,
Okay, so
Yes.
Clerk at Crescent. We're going to give him.
Yeah, we'll give him
Yeah.
half a star.
well. Good thing you didn't go, Keith is more like a reanimated corpse. True.
If you don't believe in zombies, you've never listened to
Tim High.
Stones.
That was Tim High that
Yeah,
said that.
yeah. It's all the preservatives, bud. That's,
Let's
Jagger's
talk
still
about
making
let's
babies.
talk about your absence. Then we'll bring it up with
Right.
my news.
Yes,
and then we'll finish it off with some Marvel talk.
Oh, yes. So I guess a little bit of an explanation is in order for the loyal listeners and viewers as to where I've been and, what's going on. And basically what happened was I won the lottery and I said, fuck these guys. That's totally not true. I said, fuck these guys. I just didn't win the lottery. No. So sometime about the beginning of March, I took my youngest boy in for a routine doctor's appointment, and we're going through the appointment. Everything's fine. And then there's this part of the usual ritual where they make the child lay down on the table and they start pressing on their organs. And I have to admit, every time I saw that in the past, I was kind of like, what are you doing? You know what I mean? Well,
Yeah.
Goes to show, the doctor called me over and he said, like, his initial thought was he thought that there was an enlargement of the spleen, which, okay, what do we do about it? Well, a lot of docs might have let it go or said, we'll check back on it, let it go. This was the first time that my son had seen this particular doctor ever. This guy's getting a Christmas card from me because he's pretty awesome. He didn't let the issue ride. He ordered an ultrasound for the next week. My wife took my son over to the ultrasound. They did the ultrasound. They read the results. They immediately called for a CAT scan, and then they read the results of that, and then they called for a high contrast CAT scan. About this time, you start to know that
They keep on wanting more tests and more detail.
that
Yes.
something's up. Yeah,
Yes.
more testing and more level of detail. So they sent us home. They sent us home, and they called my wife a little while after that and said, hey, pack a couple of days worth of clothes and get your kid in the car and drive immediately to Pittsburgh Children's Hospital. Go to the emergency room, and we will have a member of the oncology department waiting for you. So that was not very good news. And at that point, we weren't sure what was up. So we did that. We went over. We spent St. Patrick's Day in Pittsburgh Children's. My son, God bless him. I mean, what a trooper. They made a human pincushion out of him, and they just ran a bunch of tests. They had trouble, but he was a trooper through it all. Then we had a very long, tense, tedious wait while we waited for the results. It felt like, every day felt like a month.
It really did.
Yeah,
It really did.
Yeah. There were some complications with the results. Turns out they had to send it back once or twice because the reading wasn't really clear. But at the end of the day, long story short, came back that my son had cancer. He had a neuroblastomic type tumor, and that he didn't actually have an enlarged spleen, but the tumor is huge. It's like bigger than a softball. And it was pushing his spleen out, and it's misplaced a lot of organs. So a couple trips back and forth to Pittsburgh later, more tests, some various things. I like to think of it like this. You're not lucky to ever get the news that you or somebody that close to you has cancer, but we have been very lucky since. The testing has shown so far that it has not spread. It seems to be very treatable. So, we've gotten very lucky.
And speaking, let me interject. I'd like, you said you're lucky. And I'd like to say that not only are you lucky in the fact that it's doing what it's doing, but you also have won. You said you won the lottery with the guy performing your surgery is the guy.
Yeah. The surgeon that was recommended to us is, he's like the top for pediatric surgery, neuroblastoma, and thoracic surgery. So you couldn't ask, like, if you were going to pick a guy to do the surgery, that's who you'd pick. His oncologist has been wonderful. I won the lottery with my boy. He has been nothing but a beacon of strength. He comes and checks on me. He's like, "You doing all right, Dad?" I'm like, "Yeah, buddy, I'm doing okay, man." And but he can just he can sense when you're stressed out, and I've been doing my very best to be positive about it. There are going to be times when you're a little stressed out. You can't help it,
Yes.
I'm like, "Buddy, I'm Dad. I'm going to be stressed a little bit from time to time." But no, I won the lottery with all my children and my family. They've been super supportive. One thing that I really want to say, and being lucky, since we're talking about being lucky, I know that for some people hearing this is news. For others, it isn't. We have been extremely blessed by the family and friends and well-wishers and general community who have risen to support and to offer anything they can. And I have really extremely been touched. I cannot believe the things that people have done to go out of their way. And I was just discussing with these guys earlier. I've never totally been a like humanity kind of sucks kind of person, but even having said that, I've been completely amazed when the world casts a little bit of darkness on you. All kinds of individuals scurry out with lanterns, man, and they, to help you out. And I can only give the most sincere and heartfelt thanks for everybody. I mean, the list is literally too big that if I started naming people, I would 100% forget somebody. Your sis has been on. I mean, the things she's done. Everybody. I mean, I cannot even begin to start naming people. It's just literally everybody has been amazing. And my family, thank you so much. And I did want to say this too, speaking of some lucky things and some great things. We're the kind of family that tries to be positive about things. And we're the kind of family that believes that a positive attitude is going to help us through this. We're also the kind of people that believe even in dark corners, there are lessons to be learned. And I want to, on top of saying thank you to everybody, I wanted to say that one thing that has become evidently clear is, especially in watching my children's response to everybody coming out and helping, is they're learning a really good thing from this. I mean, I wouldn't recommend trying cancer for anyone.
No.
But, trying to make some things, my children have learned, you help your fellow man when you can.
Mm-hmm.
They've learned to be appreciative of, people going out of their way. They see this outpouring of things and it has touched them. It has changed their lives. I guarantee you they will never be the same. I won't be the same person ever again. They won't be the same people again. I think that this is, it's not in vain. I mean, first of all, to help, with the expenses of going back and forth to Pittsburgh and different things has been tremendous. But I do want everybody to know that, like, just the impact it's had on my children, especially on my youngest, the one who has the cancer, to see this. I mean, I guarantee you, he will look at the world in a different way. He will help people when he can. He sees what other people have done. So yeah, I mean, that's a really big thing. I want to say thank you to everyone. Next week, we will still be here. The weekend of, we go back on the 2nd, where the surgery will be performed on the 3rd. It's a pretty long, involved process. They're opening the kid up like a can of tuna, man. I mean, he's
taking him out of softball.
Yeah. And it was explained to me that it's going to be a very major surgery. There's some risk of him having to lose some other organs, which we're hoping that is not the case. It's a very long recovery. It's pretty major surgery. So I won't be here for that period of time.
Right. Yeah,
for anybody listening,
we wouldn't have expected that either.
I won't be here, but yeah, that's what's been going on with my life, and we're just kind of battling that. And as soon as we kick this thing in the ass, I'll be back a lot more consistently. There's still, I will definitely still be needed for the short term in other areas, but I'm very confident that as soon as this thing is somewhat in our rearview mirror, I will be back on a much more consistent basis. And once again, man, just thank you so much to everyone. These guys, Michael, I can't, I'm not even going to start listing people because I swear to God, it'd be the whole rest of the show. You know who you are, and thank you so much.
Cheers.
You mentioned Michael. Looks like he signed on. MJC 5077.
Yep.
Wish I could be there, Missy fellas. We won the lottery with you, Jason.
Wow, that's a bad lottery.
It's
It's really not.
I don't think so. I'm with Michael. Amy Lynn Conway, keeping you and your family in my thoughts and prayers.
We thank you so much, for real. Yeah.
Um,
It has truly been amazing. I mean, the upswell as I
mean,
can't
the
believe
first
there are people-
doctor's diagnosis, and it's just like, okay, this is concerning me, and it just escalated in the right direction. Yeah.
I'd like to take a quick moment to I don't know how I want to word it. You become attached to certain people throughout your life, and want someone who was a stranger becomes a friend, and then someone who becomes a friend becomes a really good friend, and then eventually, depending whatever becomes a brother or a sister to somebody. I used to have that in my life a long time ago. And I got a phone call one day without hesitation. Said person was in a car accident, and I marched. I'm like, done, go, get out of the house, leave him.
Yeah.
Drove down to the ER, ran in. I said, my brother was in a car accident. What room is he in now? And they said, oh, right this way. And I haven't felt that sort of companionship in quite a number of years. Probably close to 14 or 15 years. And then I met you, and instantly kind of felt that connection again with an individual. And it's a really, really,
it's very mutual.
really, really heavy sort of experience when you know that nobody else knows this information. And yet I got a phone call that said, hey, I got to take the family to Pittsburgh because of this, and I wanted you to know. And I was like, oh boy. So it's not only just when you say it, you and your family and your kids, like, those are my boys.
Oh, that's everybody. Yeah. My family is my family, but it's bigger than the core.
Yeah.
When I say my family, I mean everyone. Yeah.
So, but I just wanted to,
without everyone, my family would have been in a much worse place. Like I said, we try to be positive people, and I think for the most part,
it's easy not to be.
I think for the most
it's
part,
really
we do a
easy
good
not
job.
to be.
Let me tell you, and because you were here for those first 2 weeks, dude.
You were pale. I get it. I mean, I've never been in this sort of situation, having to stare this.
If I didn't have the people around me, man, I don't know. I don't even know that my work family here. I mean, the Canarses and everyone was really good. Everyone who works here, Rick. I mean, just amazing. I really don't know how I would have dealt as well without everyone around me. Because I mean, those were two of the darkest weeks I've ever had to deal with. I mean, just waiting on that news and getting, it got grimmer and grimmer for a while before it got brighter and brighter.
Right. And thankfully we are definitely on the upswing.
Yeah. Those were maybe two of the hardest, well, no, definitely two of the hardest weeks I've ever had in my life. And without all you guys, man, it would have been so much harder.
And it's kind of funny too, like the instantaneousness of like I said, Jason called me. I was leaving my Al's and my mother's house. I think it was a Sunday afternoon, or maybe
we went to Pittsburgh on a Friday.
So it was a Thursday night. I must have got off of work, and then was up there up in Evansburg for some reason because I was leaving the house when you called, and I was like, oh, okay, all right, yeah, cool, thanks for letting me know. All right, and I hung up the phone, and then because you never are able to think of everything you need to say when you need to say it exactly at that moment, and I know it couldn't have been more than 10 minutes later where I was like, do you need me to go to your house? Do you need me to go leave your dog out? Do you need, it
was pretty amazing even initially. I tell you what, man, it was hard because you just know when you're close with someone, it's not right not to tell them that news, but it's weird. And Jen and I actually discussed this. you don't want to have to tell people that, because when you are close with someone, you know it's going to bum them out.
Mm-hmm.
But yet you feel this obligation. You're like, this person they're close to me.
Right.
They need to know. But we actually got to a point where like we didn't like telling people because
you didn't want to feel bad about it.
Yeah,
You didn't want them to feel bad about it.
Yeah.
Because in turn it turns around and makes you feel worse.
Yeah. Well, I mean, just I don't know. We just didn't want that. You know?
Right. I'm a very close to the chest kind of person. Like when it comes to, feelings and emotions and whatever, but it's just one of those things like, and we were discussing this earlier. There's a running joke with me where I've often said that if I had the power and the button, I would wipe humanity off the face of the planet.
Tabula rasa, baby.
we are a plague. We are a disease, and it needs to stop.
Not all of
But
us.
but then in the same time, like, for, like I said, Jason's family to me, and to be able to just willing to drop everything and go do something like this. And again, he's mentioned like the family, just the roots that are sitting at this table. And I'm not here to blow anyone's horn and try to make it sound, like we're amazing people. But like I'll say it, like the podcast, we got together and made a donation for Jason and for the family. My sister has thrown together an art auction, where the winner got to pick some artwork that they got to do.
And that was
actually, they donated that artwork to.
Yeah, the guy who won it, Pete Long, donated.
Yeah, he donated it back to.
That was cool on so many levels. Not only because of the outreach to help us out, but Rory watched that whole thing going down live, and like it meant something to him.
That's awesome.
And he was not only touched on a personal level, but he was awed and amazed by her talent.
Dude, fuck me too.
Well, yeah, I know, man.
Like,
for real. My wife was just like my wife's like her biggest fan now.
She better get in line.
Yeah, right.
She's a strong number two.
Right.
Cool. I know where I can sell all the stuff that she throws away now.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. My wife will take it.
Yeah, I mean, when it comes to her, like, well, I'll tell anybody I've ever met. Like, my sister is the funniest person that I know.
Oh, she's awesome.
I love her dearly, and when I've watched her over the years do the art.
Yeah.
And she, because everyone who is an artist. Always like, oh, I want to go do art for a living.
Mm-hmm.
And then even like Mikey found out that in his field, he found out that there's no living there.
No.
And you have to supplement elsewhere.
Are you talking about musicians too?
Same thing.
Yeah.
But like she decided to go into education and do that, and she still loves to do art. And I would have been really, really, really put out and hurt. On some kind of level, if she would have gone into the art field and ended up resenting what she does because it's now a job.
Yeah, exactly.
Isn't it great though that she made a choice to share that with young minds? You know, that what she's doing is prepping another generation, to be able to experience and do that. That's a really great thing, man.
Yeah, I encourage her all the way. She's one of my favorite people. But when she's like, hey, I want to do this, like, do you think, because she's a worrywart, she's like, do you think they're going to be mad? Do you think it's going to be okay? And I'm like, P, just do it.
Yeah.
It's going to be fantastic. Just do it.
Yeah.
I
think it's funny too, watching her live streams, which we've gone back and watched a few of the older ones and stuff. It's cool being your friend and knowing some of the dynamics of the family, because she makes there's little Easter eggs and the whole thing.
She'll shout something out and then we answer.
I really did. Here's an Easter egg when I was like, hey P.
Yeah.
And she finally, what? Because she knows, you can hear it in the tone, because she knows that something's coming. And that's when I dropped my, like, hey, I want to do this bumper. I'm gonna do a show for Rory on my own dime. To further the help the costs and everything. And that's what I was going to bump on her live stream. But for a moment, I really thought like I should have just draw a penis. But then I remembered, probably like the kids were watching, and I thought better of it. But because I will still live to the till I'm dead in the ground, that I will try to roast her until the last moment. So like I said, just at this table, there's a lot of roots that are going into, like your family's a jewel, man.
I have
and
been.
We're here.
I've been amazed, and thanks. I can't. I'm literally like speechless, blown away. I honest to God do not know how to express, the things that I felt and the joy and the thankfulness. Flipping Chuck Custaborder. I don't know if you saw what he's doing. I mean, and his family, they're doing that dart run.
Oh, the dart thing.
Oh, okay.
Okay, I didn't know that. I didn't know the family. Yeah, so yeah, there's a dart run going on.
I mean, there's so many things. The dinners and the the painting thing. Some of the people at Jen's work have been absolutely amazing. I'm floored, man. I am absolutely floored. And I don't even know what to say. I'm beyond speechless. I mean, all I can tell everyone is we have the most sincere gratitude. And as a parent, you love to see, I mean, obviously from a practical point of view, like I'm not going to lie to you, based upon everything that I've seen, cancer is expensive, but that's just the practical thing.
Mm-hmm.
What really strikes me, and believe me, from a practical point of view, I'm super gracious about that, but whatever.
Great.
I loved, as a parent, man, I cannot, like, once again, I know I'm reiterating this, but as a parent, to see the way that other people can shape your child's attitude into something good. I mean, the benefits for that are, to me, not saying that the financial aspect of it isn't important, because I got to live in the world and I got to feed my family. I got to eat and we got to pay our bills and all that happy shit. And this is definitely, something that's serious. And anybody out there going through this, I really understand, because I've seen other people and tried to be empathetic. And I am an empathetic human being, but until you actually see like what the cost of this kind of stuff can be and stuff,
you gave me
it's absurd. I don't want to go into too many details, but
you gave me a number of what one of the initial visits were, and my literal jaw hit the floor.
It's more than people make in a year.
And I was like, "You've got to be kidding me!"
To spend a day in the hospital without,
that's
the bed fee is more than a lot of people I know make in a year.
Yeah. And it's just mind-boggling at how much, to coin a phrase, I don't know. It'll probably be misconstrued with what I'm going to say, but Rush lyric is a cure is a wasting disease, and I really don't feel that the cure is, but like as far as a financial burden, a cure isn't cheap.
I'll tell you what it is, man. And I don't want to like wax too political or anything while we're here talking about other things that I'm really gracious about, but like what happens in this system, and I don't want to get into like what I would prefer or not prefer. There's a whole bunch of can of worms, but basically what happens is
Taxation is theft.
Well, you want to talk about property tax?
I had to lift it.
We can talk about property tax.
Yeah, but the schools down here are beautiful.
Oh,
with no power.
At any rate, what basically happens once you incur a major illness in your family? What you're really looking at is enslavement, because literally you will be spending the rest of your life now paying that back. I mean, it's really a form of enslavement. Don't get sick or we own you.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, so whatever. I don't even want to dwell on that, but it's for
that's
real.
A whole other show.
That's a whole other show, man.
Yeah,
I totally get it. And it
And,
wasn't, it's not about, getting into that aspect of it. And we didn't want to get,
I thought I saw some bills when, my daughter, my oldest child, she has, a condition. We did see some bills, but holy poo. Don't get cancer. Yeah.
Can we officially, I know a lot of people, even in my immediate circle, that have also, outside of you, that have been affected by this.
Yeah, sure.
And
Who doesn't know somebody that's been
Yeah.
affected by this?
And I say this with the utmost affection for everybody. Fuck cancer.
Fuck cancer. Holy poo, don't get cancer.
Holy poop! Don't do it. Just if you're in line, get out.
Get out. Just don't do it. Yeah.
Mm.
So I'd like to end all that with just one more time. Thank you so much to everybody. Literally, you all know who you are, and you've all been really great. The point I wanted to make, as a parent, I super appreciate the example that people are setting for my children.
Mm.
To me, that's almost more important than the finance. I mean, I'm not, like I said, I don't want to downplay that. That is, from a super practical level, that is super fragilistic But
Wow.
Yeah, can you spell that?
no,
I'm-
absolutely not.
I'm glad because I'm quite frankly, I don't know if I could even spell that at this point.
Well, I
Yeah.
got to tell you that the Suntory helps. But for real, as a parent, see, to me, materialism is materialism, but that's not character.
Mhm.
And I don't necessarily value a person's worth by what they're worth financially. You know what I mean?
Absolutely
so-
not.
Helping out financially, God bless everyone, because this could ruin us. But at any rate, the example that everybody's setting for my kids, as far as, and it's like totally, like mom and dad say you should appreciate people. Mom and dad say you should help other people out. Mom
But
and
now
dad,
they're seeing it.
but now they're seeing.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? To me, that's something I couldn't teach my children that on my own.
And it also is a flipped coin too, because not only are they learning from us, as far as when there's a call, you answer it,
Right.
But it's also, like you said, a beacon for those of us who have a darker sort of view of the world.
Yeah, man.
That his.
We're gonna have to have an episode on his dark view of the world.
That'd be
It's
real
gonna have to be
short.
2 episodes.
An
An episode. That we see him. I've never heard one complaint.
Dude, the kid hasn't complained yet.
He's always smiling.
He has not complained yet.
It's not slowing him down.
The day we came back from Pittsburgh, man, he had a jazz band concert. We were like, are you feeling up to? I mean, kid's still bleeding. He's got tape on him. You know what I mean? He's like, where's my trombone? You know what I mean? He's like, the kid it has been impossible for Jen and I to have any down moments, because when that kid's in the room, like if he's the example, if he's the standard, like you can't be sad. Like you feel like you're failing him.
You can't show up late. Yeah.
Yeah.
You got to be.
Yeah. I mean, I've always loved my child. I've always respected my children as human beings, but this kid has shown me his mettle, and it has not come up lacking. Like that kid is more of a human being at 12 than I'll ever be in my life. Like he's floored me. Yeah.
Roar Dog.
Yeah.
Not
Toast to Roar Dog.
When you're older, you can go back on this episode and raise a glass with us and your old man. Cheers to you.
Hey, and thank you, everyone. And there's better news to be talked about.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
that's right.
You want to talk about that?
Yeah,
I really do.
I'm a brand new grandfather.
Yay! How'd that happen?
Oh, I think
If
you
you
had
don't know,
I may have been there. I may not have been there.
I'll let you explain.
Yeah, so last week I did post on the Facebook page that the reason that we didn't get together last week was actually the birth of my third child. My daughter, Maggie, came into the world on
Beautiful daughter.
last
she
Monday.
is gorgeous, dude. All your kids are gorgeous. She's gorgeous.
Thanks. I know.
Yeah.
It's the father.
Right.
No, really, it is. No,
No, seriously.
No, really.
no, seriously. But yeah, and a lot of people like the biggest outcry was we had no idea, and it wasn't like I don't know if it was a conscience.
Conscious?
Conscious?
Thanks.
You don't know if she was conscious?
Oh, she walked in the, yeah.
No. If it was a conscious effort I still said it wrong. To not tell anybody. I mean, there were some people that knew,
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
And I used the example this afternoon that at the Christmas, our work Christmas party.
Yeah, some of us had no idea. That's unreal.
And then this is what I'm going to tell you. Like,
Pay attention, Mike.
you sat next to her. Like everyone else was like, "Oh wow,
Yeah.
congrats!" You know,
Congrats.
whoa, it's
Yeah.
December and we're surprised.
Right.
And literally, Mike sat next to her for the entire time and had a few weeks ago. I said, "Well, I'm not going to be able to do it that week because of the baby," and he goes, "Wait, what?
What? Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
What baby?" And I'm like, "Didn't you know?" And that was the biggest outcry was we had no idea.
Yeah.
And I don't know, like it was never really like discussed as like
You should know you need to spell things out for me.
I love you. That I mean, we never really talked about like we're not going to say anything. It wasn't this grand scheme. I mean, obviously she wasn't hiding it.
No, it had come up on multiple occasions.
Mutual.
So, but yeah, it was just one of those like kept it close to the chest. And as far as everything goes with like the delivery and everything, as with the other two kids, there was no kind of like Maggie was the easiest,
Mhm.
I think. I don't remember much being wrong with Autumn as far as like there wasn't any extra care that had
Yeah.
to be involved.
No, it's being a pisser.
Yeah, Noah would, and he's still a little pissed with
Yeah.
that ass. He
Little boys, man.
yeah. But I don't know. There's something in my brain telling me like there was something going on. I mean, it was low level, but like we had to do this with Autumn. And then when Noah was born, he had a whole like a small slew of things. He ended up being he had to be in the NIC unit for several extra days before we got to bring him home.
They put him under the Arby's lights.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, even Autumn had a little bit of and so did Maggie. I mean, she had a little bit of the jaundice.
Yeah.
But as far as like Noah, like I said, he had to be in the NICU. He wasn't. I forget what it is at this point. And wow, do I feel like a horrible parent because I don't remember. But I'm going to blame the whiskey.
What are my kids' names?
Who? What?
How many?
But he he was in the NICU for a little while for a few extra days. The poor bugger had a tongue tie. Like they had to cut that right in the hospital and and all this other stuff. So it was like, okay.
Tongue tie.
It's actually like
Yeah.
his was actually keeping his tongue
Oh, couldn't
down.
move.
He couldn't he wasn't able to open his mouth up far enough to feed.
Right.
So the doctor came in with basically what looks like a seam stitch ripper and went,
Yeah.
there you go.
It's crazy what they do to kids, man. Like you couldn't. If I was going to go in to have that done, I'd be like, whoa, whoa, whoa.
You better knock me to
Where's
fuck
the
out.
drugs?
Yeah.
Little kids, man, they're just like,
Yeah, here you go.
yeah.
So he gave us trouble, and then I remember what it was with Autumn. She wouldn't go to the bathroom right away,
Mm.
and they were kind of worried, But I mean, it all worked out. Everything we left on a normal time frame. Like I said, Noah was kept a few days,
Everything came out all right.
an extra day or two. But then with Maggie, it was kind of funny. Like, Lisa doesn't let me know what the gender is. She hasn't for the last
Well,
three.
anyone. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, not just you.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah,
It's not like she was like,
their
Yeah.
sister.
Yeah, it's not like
yeah,
she-
yeah,
it's not like she
exactly,
knew and
yeah.
everybody else, like no one knew.
No.
I
And
totally respect that, by the way. We did that with all three of us.
and I don't like
I know.
I fucking
Yeah.
hate that. I hate it with a goddamn passion.
I love it.
And with Noah, it was spoiled almost because on his way out, every one of the kids has been a cesarean, and on the way out, I overheard the doctor. Whoop, there he is, and I kind of oh okay,
Yeah.
so I know what's going on now. But like I've always had the chance to. All right, Dad, you want to go ahead and stand up? And I stand up and I look over the curtain, and I see the child. And this kind was a little funnier to me because, like, the head wasn't out yet.
Right.
The head was still inside of her stomach. And he goes, the doctor says, "All right, Dad, you can stand up now." And I look up, and Dr. Lee is basically holding Maggie by the legs and just goes,
For those on the live stream.
Yes, it was leg splitting.
yeah, just a
Separation,
spread
yes.
eagle sort of thing. And I'm like, oh, okay, where's the head? It's still in there. I'm like, okay, great. I'm like, glad it
I
has
feel
that.
like that's an important part, the head. Does it come out too?
Anytime,
We need that
Doc,
part.
anytime, Doc.
Because any other time that they've, they said, go ahead, you can look, the baby has been
It's
completely
there,
out,
yes,
but it was kind of like a shock to see, like there's no head. But like right away, like oh, it peed on me. So like, okay, well, the bladder's working great,
That's
and
good,
then like within a few hours, she had gone, she did a number 2.
Mm-hmm.
So that was working. So it all within a matter of hours, like she had done all the tests. She passed her hearing test. Everything was fine. The only thing is she had this little touch of jaundice, which in the grand scheme of things with the other two might as well not even have it.
That's so cool.
But yeah, we went in on a Monday expecting, because this is the routine. We go in, they hook her up to Pitocin. She labors for a day with no success, no activity, and then the next day they cut and operate. So we walked in Monday, and I'm thinking, well, here's me sitting on this chair all day again.
Right.
And the doctor comes in and he says, well, let's just check out what's going on here. And he, sticks his hand up in there and he's like, I don't know if I'm getting punched or kicked.
All right.
And so they brought the machine in. They did a sonogram.
Yeah.
And found out the baby was transverse. And he was like, well, we're going to do this like now. And I'm like, what about sitting on this chair?
I got to sit on the chair.
I brought the Game Boy Switch, man. Like I charged it, I hooked it up to my phone so I could download the update.
Right.
I got a whole day ahead of me, and that wasn't the case. And there I am standing in the hallway in my scrubs, with the new shush. That I almost passed out in the room, and it wasn't because the sight. Because I'm no stranger to this.
Yeah.
I've seen it twice.
Yeah, you're no stranger to that.
But like they added a raincoat. Now everyone leans in. So they're like, well, you can't go into the operating room unless you're in the scrubs.
There might be splatter.
Yeah,
What? It's like a Gallagher show. You just see Dr. Lee up on the bench with the with the mallet. No, but like there was never this raincoat before.
Still trying to imagine a doctor with a
I'll
mallet.
say Jay like a Gorton's fisherman guy just standing there.
Centauri Toki.
Yeah.
You got to put on the scrubs. So
Yes.
Yeah.
but at the same time, like I don't know if this is a OSHA violation. Whatever. Like,
What do they care if you?
they got to get all scrubbed up. They got to do the thing. I've
yeah.
seen enough of the shows. They got to scrub for 2.5, 3 minutes. And they walk in with the gloves or whatever. And they're like, here, put these scrubs on. I'm like, do I have to clean up? And they're like, no, just sit down.
Just sit down.
Don't touch anything. Just sit down. So you put on the scrubs, you put on the top. I put on a little hat, and then I got to put a mask on.
Sure.
This time, my beard is a lot longer than it was the last time. I actually didn't even have a beard, I think, at that point. I had a goatee. I've never really been without a goatee since 5th grade.
Right.
But they're like, you're gonna have to put that up in a net.
You had to net your beard.
And I'm like, do you have a net? And they said,
do you have a beard net?
and they said, no. I said, I got a hair tie. I can pull it up in a bun.
Yeah.
And they went, and then the Dr. Lee goes, does he need a hairnet? And the doctor went, no.
Yeah, right.
So, but I pulled it up anyway just to make people feel better. So I pulled my beard up into a bun. I had the mask on. And
so you were basically
yeah, exactly.
No.
Just got the beard up in the back.
Well, no, like it was funny because this is the extent of my beard. It's just in a little ball.
Everybody listen.
It would have been better if you'd have done that.
Over the mask.
And then trip over some.
I can't see.
I can't see. Dr. Laird, Dr. Laird.
That's doctor to you, lady. So
Dr. Lee.
I can't see. Why not? I got my eyes covered by my beard.
I cannot.
I don't know what to do with my hands.
So and I'm sitting there, and they're like, "And you need to put this on," and I'm like, "Why? I didn't have to wear it the first 2 times."
Yeah, they're all right.
I'm like, and I asked the nurse, and God love her, she was great the first day. Like they called her I don't know what the terminology they use, but she's a float nurse. She lives out of Pittsburgh, but
right.
I guess the hospital's short staffed, and she's there for 3 days, and then she goes back and she travels to different hospitals. She was fantastic.
Yeah.
Was her name Amanda? I don't remember. Whatever. But she. So I said to her, she hands me this. It was basically. It looked like a reverse coat. I had to put my arms through one way.
Okay, yeah.
And it was all vinyl. It reminds you of a poncho.
What color was it?
Blue. And I had to tie it in the back. And I'm sitting there,
So you had like a latex hospital gown?
Yeah. And I literally said to her, I'm like, are you expecting rain?
Yeah.
Because I'm like, I didn't have to do this before. Why the hell do I have to do it now? So.
Yeah, I want to know what they're expecting.
Yeah, no idea. So, okay, fine, the baby's out. Here, Mr. Smith cut the cord. So they clean the baby up, they throw her on the warming table, and, I'm sitting there watching her. And for those of you who are friends with me on Facebook, I posted the video of her first minutes,
amazing?
flailing around a little bit. And then I'm sitting back down, and I'm like, I feel funny. And then I held my hand out and I saw it going like this, and I'm like, that's not right. And the oncologist or the
not the oncologist,
no, not the drug lady.
Anesthesiologist.
Thank you.
Yeah.
She looks at me. She goes, "Sir, are you okay?" And I went, "I'm better not try to be a man right now."
Right,
no, I'm fine. I said I'm kind of feeling a little funny. And she says, do you feel like you need to sit down? I'm like, I'm sitting down.
You're like, I need drugs.
She goes, do you want a bigger chair? And I said, that might help. And because I'm literally on like this little bar stool that's not even big enough for my ass.
Right.
And Dr. Lee, he goes, you can take off your mask and your outer coat.
Your raincoat.
My raincoat. And that's literally what, like, I pulled it off and I was dripping with sweat. I was that hot. I was overheating. I was getting ready to pass out from
doesn't breathe.
Because
anybody who's been to my pay site knows.
And I don't know if you've had to be in that experience before.
I never had to wear the raincoat. No.
Okay,
but Tim High says he's having a baby in Canada. And,
he had a baby in Canada. He said
it was a horror show. Yeah.
Oh wow. But
see, my kids were all delivered natural. I don't know if that's something.
So like. Most of the places, I've only ever seen the inside of Altoona Hospital.
Right.
Right.
Well, we can. That's another episode.
Episodes. And they have everything in the room that you deliver in the room that you're in.
They are nice birthing rooms.
And so I've only ever known the inside of the operating room that they have there.
Yeah.
And I don't remember it ever being that uncomfortable.
Right.
But with the addition of that rain suit.
That's really strange, man.
Like I've said, I guess
allergic to vinyl.
Huh. Maybe.
Yeah.
Go to his pay site.
So no, like as soon as I took the mask down and the vest or the outer jacket off, I was
Yeah, they're
fine.
cooking you, man.
But no, it was kind of weird. Like, she's still they're sewing her up and getting her all fixed up and put back together. And but like I said before, like even with Autumn, we had to go to the nursery.
Mhm.
She had to
Right.
go under the light or under the heater for a little while. I remember that. There's a video somewhere of me, the first moments with Autumn I was playing with a tickle in her foot.
Mm-hmm.
And then with Noah, he basically never saw the inside of the delivery room. He was in the NICU basically the
Right.
entire time he was
Right.
there. But with Maggie, like they're still getting her all prepped up and ready to go. And Kim, who was the nursery head nurse, is like, "Well, come on, Dad." I'm like, "Where are we going?" And she's like, "Here's your baby.
Here's your
We're
baby."
wheeling it back to the room." And I'm like, "Oh, we get to go back to the room?"
Yeah.
Already.
Yeah.
Wow, like I got my switch here, man. So like, and of course, like, even at that point, like you're not able to like,
Right.
because they're still doing tests and
Oh yeah.
checking things and everything else. And it's kind of funny. Like I call her Muted Maggie. Like Autumn
Yes.
had lungs,
Right.
Noah had lungs. Maggie cries and it sounds like she's in the next room. It's kind of funny. Like
She's gonna have a hard time doing a podcast later on.
We'll just have to gain her up. That's
and
all.
I've said several times where I thought like, like, wow, like she has just been, as far as my experience with children goes, she's been a champ
Mm-hmm.
at this point as far as
Not annoying dad.
well, not so much annoying me. Yeah,
It's
you're all a bunch of jerk butthead
Jerks.
brigades. But no, so yeah, long story
can't wait
short,
to see the Christmas card this year.
Yeah.
me sitting there with a poop diaper stuck to my face and just giving the bird "Merry Christmas, you filthy animals."
Keep the change.
So that's where I was last week.
Yeah. Where were you, Al? No,
I was visiting
Yeah.
because we were down and we were taking care of the grandkids.
And thank you to my parents and my sister who took days off of work
Yeah.
to make sure that the other children, while not in school, were taken care of while we were absent.
Did you say whence not?
Yeah,
It's not.
Whence not?
whence not.
I think it's south of Greensburg. Yeah.
And I'd also like to.
Hey, I had a great. You had mentioned earlier. I really did appreciate it too. I know in the middle of the heat of battle there, when everything was going down, I did appreciate it. I even looked at my wife. I got a text that just said, "It's go time," and I was like, he let me know. He took the time out of all that.
There were certain people I
Yeah.
sent out messages to.
Yeah.
And
I was surprised though because I was waiting for Tuesday.
right. And like I said, I didn't even have any clue at that
Yeah.
point. Like
And I was like, "It's go time."
I was officially waiting for we're going to sit here all day
Yeah.
because that's what I know.
Yeah.
I messaged immediate family,
Right.
my parents, her parents. You were the only other person that I had texted.
I totally appreciated it, and I made a note of it. I even said to my wife, "I said, can you let me know it was go time?"
Thundercats are go.
Thundercats go.
Did it take 5 minutes to transform? No, never mind. Why do they have to keep that scene in the whole time?
But yeah, so that's what I was doing. Kiddo number 3.
So we've had some valid reasons for not being on
Yeah.
the podcast.
Well, basically, what we're saying is we're not trying to dick you around.
Right. Right.
Shit's going on.
Yeah.
And hopefully,
Life is going on.
yeah, life happens sometimes. And we never like made a conscious effort. I tried to say it again, to say like we're gonna put out content every week.
That's the
every week.
expectation, though.
And well, I mean, we did it religiously every week because we just wanted to do it. I mean, and we still want to do it. But
I mean, Tim High wants to know why we didn't have a damn podcast.
Oh.
You know.
Oh, so that's great, but why you guys didn't have a podcast? Nice.
Because you didn't show up, Tim.
Yeah.
You and shut your gob, you tit. Love you.
We do love Tim High. He's a great dude.
But
He was another one of those people that, honest to God, during those what I will refer to as the dark 2 weeks, he was there.
the Dark Cyclone.
And he
Yeah.
was there for me.
So yeah, just life happens. Bear with us. We're trying to get back on a regular schedule.
And we will.
And
This is a learning
I
experience.
want to say I'm hoping by I'll throw out a tentative date, like hopefully
Oh, you're gonna be daring right
Oh,
now,
jeez.
hopefully by July we're back to
That's
a,
fair.
a somewhat
That's fair.
even if it's not every week, at least something more consistent than where we have been. By any means, we're not forcing anybody to do this show. Like, you got to be here to do this show because it's the show and it's important.
I just want to say,
It's really not.
if you're thinking about being a patron member, right now's the time because you're not getting charged for shit. You're just getting the credit.
Yeah, you're getting all the credit, but you're not getting charged for it.
Yeah, you're gonna have your name read the next time.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
But all donations are now a $20 patron. No. So yeah,
So
that's
if you're thinking about it, do it. Now's the time.
yeah. So that's what we've been doing. We're running long here. We got a little long-winded
So
there.
Rory has till July. Tim.
Wow. Thank you and good
I
night.
love you too.
I'll be having another surgery, Mike says. So maybe I can rack up another Patreon
Last
member?
time, Mike's getting
yeah.
surgery again.
Yeah.
Last time, yeah, but your patron member didn't laugh.
Way to go.
No, last time Mike had surgery, ended up talking one of the people in there into being a patron member.
The Cosmic Road Show.
Yeah, so
Um,
now we're maybe we can get another one.
Maybe. So let's real quick. Let's clear some beef on.
I think as far as the Marvel topic, maybe we've run some time. Maybe we should wait for Mike. What do you think? Or do you just want to fucking bust balls and
Fuck, they haven't heard anything for weeks. Let's
Okay.
give them the content.
give him some content?
Oh,
Damn it.
right.
So we there's been a delay on the Captain Marvel discussion.
Oh, Kevin Siegel says no
Oh.
spoilers.
No spoilers? Well, to what?
Wait, when did this movie come out?
Captain
We're not
Marvel.
talking Endgame.
we're not
Yeah,
talking
we're not
Endgame. We're talking Captain Marvel. And we really don't even
and
have.
why aren't we allowed to talk about Endgame?
We can. I saw it. But someone over here to the left.
Me, I haven't seen it yet.
Busy having babies.
I
and
know,
shit.
right?
I
Well,
mean,
let's talk about John
Oh,
Wick
wait.
3.
Al
Carry
got a
on.
grandchild and he saw.
Yeah,
it,
I
man.
was watching the other two
Fuck off.
grandchildren.
My kid has cancer, and I saw.
My God!
Wow.
Wow, you just
Boy, did he pull that
he
up.
was just like,
Oh,
hey,
he's
check
like,
out this
yeah.
cancer card. Flop. You dick.
Not everyone has seen Endgame. Oh, Kevin Siegel.
Yeah, we're not talking.
We're not
Endgame.
talking Endgame.
We're talking Captain Marvel. We're a little late to the
talking
party.
Parabellum.
Yeah, we're late to that.
Oh,
And-
wait, Jay didn't see that either.
And by
Tim
late
I wants to talk Captain Marvel.
and by
Okay,
and by
okay.
the, and by late I mean me.
So Captain Marvel it is.
But I think the biggest topic discussion with Captain Marvel that we wanted to talk about wasn't the fact of whether or not the film was good, because
No, I
The film
want to
by
address all the.
itself is,
I want
yeah.
to address all the buttercups who were like slagging this film.
yeah, that's the big
No,
beef.
would it be the biggest bit? One be that it used to be a guy, and now it used to be Shazam, and now it's
No, what?
Well, you've
No.
got your universes. You're
Yeah.
yeah, you're crossing the streams.
okay.
Don't cross the stream. bro.
Don't cross the
well.
streams. Okay, so
But it's good.
technically, though, Al does bring up a very good point. The original Captain Marvel in the Marvel universe was a guy, Marvel. But the largest criticisms have come from a lot of people who feel that what they've done is they've shoehorned in a female character for the sake of it.
The way that this past 2 years has gone, so
Right. And the fact that they've sort of made her overpowered and they're sort of like beating some kind of feminist drum here.
Mhm.
And that's been the agenda for the movie.
you can say that. But the thing is, if you watch this movie in 5 years, will it still handle all that hype?
Well, my thing is this. I don't even know where it came from. I mean, we're obviously, at the time that came out, we're building towards Avengers Endgame, right?
Right.
We know that this is going to be important. Thanks to the post-credit scenes, Nick Fury dials Captain Marvel, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
Okay, so that's where my big thing has been. And I mean, literally, I'm not, they used to call me the comic book kid when I was a kid. I mean, I've been an Avengers fan for a long time. My personal thought is, like, where has Carol Danvers been?
Mhm.
Like, as far as shooing in, you know what I mean? We're pushing this down the throat. Like, actually, she was late to the party.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know what I mean? I mean, Miss Marvel, Captain Marvel, whichever era you grew up in, however you want to call it, big part of the Avengers storyline. Like, actually, to my mind, where's she been?
Yeah.
I mean, as far as the movie went, I accepted, the small bit of the explanation. You have the entire group of superheroes on Earth. I'm the only one out in space.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. Tim brings up the point online, and this is something that I've said myself. Carol Danvers was introduced into the Marvel Universe, I believe, in 1968.
Yeah.
That's what Tom Holland says.
It's not new.
It's not new,
Not
man.
by any stretch
Not
of the
by any
imagination.
stretch.
No.
This is something that has been a thing. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
if you got a problem with this, I don't know where you've been.
Right.
And so, like, it was a thing. As far as this whole weird feminist agenda in the movie. Now, look, I know Brie Larson said some shit outside of the movie, which, quite frankly, I actually agree with the content of what she said, perhaps not the verbiage that she used.
I'm not even.
Yeah, I'm not
familiar-
sure
what did she say specifically. I
I'm
know Mike. I think Mike read it before once.
He did, and I'm real hesitant to
But
paraphrase,
Basil
but
Hayden,
basically, you got Basil Hayden.
Yeah.
Basically, total paraphrase. She said something to the effect of, as far as the Academy and stuff goes, who cares what a bunch of 70-year-old white guys think about this movie?
right.
Right.
And as far as the sentiment goes and the content of that, I'm kind of with it. Like,
Right.
I mean,
yeah, me too.
Yeah,
as far as the way that I live my life and approach my art, I don't give a fuck.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Mhm.
I don't care what anybody anywhere has to think about my art. I don't care.
hmm
And if that's what she was saying, more power to you. I don't know if it was necessarily like it was inflammatory to call out old white men. Whatever. I mean, I might have called the institution of the Academy to task more than put a age, gender,
Right.
race to it.
But I'm pretty sure that was a heat of the moment discussion.
And let's face it.
And when she says that, she is calling the
What she said was she wasn't interested in the opinions of 70-year-old white men. Okay.
which
Which was the
she's
Academy.
talking about the Academy.
Right.
Right.
And that's just a no-brainer. Like anyone else
Yeah.
who's
I mean, has anybody seen what the Academy? I mean, yeah.
yeah. So yeah, after seeing it, I've seen it once or twice now. That a lot of people said, it banged a very loud feminist drum with the strong female character. The only connection that I felt where like this was kind of cheesy was when she unleashes herself from the intelligence
Mm-hmm.
and goes into the big battle scene where she's fighting the rest of the Kree.
I know what you're going to say. Yeah.
And they start playing the "I'm Just a Girl" from No Doubt.
Right.
That's the only moment where I felt like this is a little hokey.
In the film, yes.
But that's the only connection point where I can see where
And
any
see-
of the scuttlebutt can
And see,
make.
that's another thing. I think we have to make a connect.
I'm sorry. Yeah,
We
go
have to
ahead.
make a disconnect between the actual content of the film and what everybody says outside. Like, I'll be honest with you. I listen to all kinds of musical artists
Mhm.
that I do not agree with. I do not condone. I don't particularly care what they have to say about anything. I just like that record.
Right.
You know what I mean? And as far as the movie goes, I thought Brie Larson was awesome.
Yeah. She was fantastic.
You know what I mean? I thought the content of the movie. I don't think it's wise to judge art by anything other than the standards of what the content of the art is.
See, I'm thinking about the famous Pittsburgh artist who took the Campbell's soup labels and put them on a canvas.
Yeah, Warhol.
Yeah, Warhol.
Okay.
So that's art.
No. What I'm
No, but I was just trying to. Yeah, that's.
What I'm saying is we should judge it by the Campbell soup labels, not whatever Andy Warhol has to say about anything in public. I'm saying if you want to evaluate the art,
Okay. Now
then
I
you
understand
evaluate it in terms of that's a picture of Campbell soup labels, or that's a banana, or
Okay.
what you don't evaluate it by whatever Andy Warhol has to say about the current political regime, or whatever Andy Warhol has to say about anything.
Mhm.
You evaluate the art on the basis of just the content of the art.
Okay.
That is what I'm trying to say.
Well, that's what I was trying to figure out. That's why
Yeah.
I posed the question. to you.
Yeah, and as far as the actual content of the movie goes, that's what I'm evaluating it on. I don't care what Brie Larson has to say, honest to God, about anything.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? I'm there to watch the movie.
I enjoyed the movie, including the part that Jay mentioned about.
I get that point. Yeah,
Yeah,
mean,
and
to
I'm
me,
not saying that I didn't. That if I could narrow it down and say like this was the moment where it may have been misconstrued, that's the point
That's
for me.
it. Yeah.
Um,
I mean, my God,
Do I
if that's
enjoy-
all you have to.
do I enjoy listening to Brie Larson whoop ass to No Doubt? Yeah,
Sure.
great.
Give me more.
You know,
Yeah.
maybe not too much more, but
It's enough.
It was
Balance
good.
it, okay.
yeah,
Well, I mean, and here's the other thing too. Other people have said that just because she's a female character, they have overbalanced her power factor in the Marvel universe. And anybody who's been aware of Ms. Marvel, Captain Marvel, whatever, like I said,
Mhm.
whatever, I think they pretty much got that right. My complaint would be that the other characters in the MCU are somewhat
down,
dumbed down.
yeah,
You know what I mean? Thor's like
oh yeah,
nothing compared
No.
to comics Thor. I could see that. I was pretty happy to finally see a Marvel character like that's what they should be doing.
hmm
I don't think that she was overpowered.
No.
And for anybody not live streaming, I'm air quoting right now. For me it was kind of cool to be like that's what a superhero is. That's what that character would be doing.
yeah.
I would like to see the rest of them really,
Yeah, the moment we're referring to was in Avengers Infinity War when Thor finally shows up to the battle
you get a taste.
and starts wielding the hammer and
Right. That's Thor.
or it was is it the hammer?
Well, now that's
It's the-
Stormbreaker.
Yeah.
was-
Stormbreaker, the
Yeah.
the hammer with the longer handle.
Right. Right.
When he starts fucking whipping and
You get a
things-
small taste of what Thor
he was
is.
able to. He should have been doing that since the first movie.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, so if you want to talk about a dumbed down,
Right.
who has a power level.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of interesting just because I'm a total comics nerd.
And let's face it, you've got a little soft spot for the lore.
I do.
Michael says, but that's the thing. Captain Marvel is Marvel's Superman.
Exactly. I mean, you can't.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you can't. It's Marvel. You
But
know what I mean?
Didn't Batman, just a regular human being, defeat Superman? I mean,
Good point.
He had a
Good point.
super suit.
well, yeah, shoot a shoot.
He took his hand. He knew what to do with his
He
hand.
knew what to do with it.
He took his supplements.
Mike brings up, and since Mike's not
Yeah.
present, we're going to read what Mike says. I mean, she is overpowered, but they handled it very well in the film, but also in Endgame. I mean, that's exactly, she is Marvel's Superman person.
Right.
You know what I mean?
So,
Super person.
She's supposed to be strong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I personally, I was all about it. I think that,
Speaking of Brie Larson, can I jump ship here real quick?
hey man,
Sure.
yeah.
There was a fan picture, and I even think that she saw it and said, "Let's do it." Where someone put
Those were air finger quotes again
Those
for
were
you
air
at home.
quotes. For anybody who can't see, I'm using air quotes.
Air hoots.
Okay.
Air quotes right now.
That they put her in a digital art photo of Samus from
Oh,
Metroid.
yes.
And I'm
Yes.
saying, like,
Yeah.
can
Can we
can
get
Hollywood
that?
fucking make
Yeah.
Can we do
a
that?
Metroid movie
Yes, that would
with
be
Brie
awesome.
Larson as Samus? Yes,
That would be
please. Now,
fucking
thank
awesome.
you.
And I would love to see Hollywood actually make a good video game movie. I mean,
and they really haven't.
they
yet.
have not, dude.
They got this close with the first Resident Evil movie.
This
Really?
close.
This close.
This close.
This close to it being an okay movie.
Okay. Yeah.
Not great,
No.
but
no,
okay.
No. But like I might watch it again.
And it became
Oh, it got,
very, very hokey.
it got bad quick.
Yeah, real fast.
Even with Mila Jovovich in it. I mean, it didn't.
Mila Johansson.
Jovovich.
Yeah, I don't think that they've made an honest to God good video game adaptation.
Tim High says, I'm with you guys, but the backlash from that on the internet was wicked about Metroid.
Oh, so they didn't dig it?
Yeah.
You know what? How about this?
Is it because they hated Brie Larson, or is it because? I mean, is that why they hated it? Because now Brie Larson is toxic. I mean, is that it?
I
don't know.
guess.
Who knows?
Kevin Siegel says Tomb Raider, not the
Hokey.
hokey Angelina Jolie movie, but the reboot.
I have not seen it.
I
haven't seen that one either.
I have seen the reboot, and they tried to do it off of the latest story arc that is Tomb Raider right now.
Right, which you would be way more up on than I am.
Well, actually, I haven't played the second two games, but they did basically the movie was off of the first game, and I had a small beef with it. I did watch it. I didn't like it for continuity, I guess is the word.
He says yes.
Because of Brie.
It was because of Brie, just to follow up.
Well, fuck them.
Yeah, I mean, it's a bunch of. I hesitate to use the inverse of the term as far as the people who are leveling criticism, but it's a bunch of snowflakes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it really is.
You know what I
Shut
mean?
up, grow up.
Yeah.
You're fucking 10-ply, bud.
You're fucking up.
Because that first the latest the Rise of the Tomb Raider, or no, that's the second game. It was just called Tomb Raider.
Okay.
Any other Tomb Raider game, it was she's this established character. She is already the Tomb Raider.
Tim High says, make a Skyrim movie, 12 hours long.
Yeah.
For the first one,
Right.
they would need and get Peter Jackson to destroy it.
To destroy it. Yeah. Exactly.
But they
Foos Rondell, bud.
so the game was, it wasn't her being the Tomb Raider. It was her being Lara Croft, and then her being molded into the Tomb Raider. It was
It was like an origin.
It was
story.
it was a very big origin story. And it was actually very powerful because video games don't bother me.
Really?
Right?
Boy, that's whoa.
Wait, what?
I don't have
that down.
I don't have a strong moral compass, I suppose, when it comes
This
to
is a dude who was just saying he was a little bummed because during the birth of his child he didn't.
I know, right? But dog, I brought all the video
not the games.
Right.
But no.
But you look at the games.
Look at the games, man. Oh, look at that. I don't get uncomfortable because of certain things. Like there was a moment in The Last of Us where Whisketeer Kevin Siegel says, dude, now that you're a father, this is going to bother you.
It was early in the game.
Be prepared. And it came and went, and I went, I must be a calloused husk.
I'm empty inside.
I am a dark void.
I can't even make money off my soul.
It didn't swing me the same way. I kind of, I'm on a different course.
All this shit went down when I was trying to play Last of Us. You lent it to me actually, and I tried. I gotta admit, it was tough.
Right.
Yeah.
And I can understand why it is
Yeah.
tough, but for me, I don't know. I'm just a jerk, I guess.
No, you
But-
realize the difference between a video game and real life.
So that didn't bother me, But like there's a point in that first Tomb Raider game when she takes her first life, and it's a struggle. It's not, I have to do this.
She's not just a born killer.
No.
Yeah.
It is a total, like, they're rolling around. There's an accident. She gets the pop,
Right.
and then she is just like splattered, and
They showed us a struggle.
yeah, and I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
There's been very few moments in video game history where I've gone back and like, oh boy, I don't know if I.
Well, that's a good list.
Yeah. So that game was perfect. There's very few games where I will say, as far as like, of course, there's some mechanical issues, whatever. Every game has it.
Yeah.
But on the as a completed whole, that game was perfect. And I expected it was going to be hard to recreate that perfectness that game was in an hour and a half format.
Yeah.
They did a very good job.
Yeah.
For a person who wasn't attached to the game, would probably be like, this was a really good movie.
Right.
And it wasn't a bad movie. It was a good movie.
I mean, when you
But
really
I was
think
so
about it-
emotionally attached to that video game that it fell way short.
Well, when you really think about it, I mean, I haven't thought about it that much, but I'm just now thinking about it. I mean, most of the video games that I've have enjoyed in my life are usually at least, and I'm lowballing this, at least 20-hour playthroughs.
Oh, God.
To turn that into an hour and a half or 2-hour movie, you're dealing. That's an issue.
Well, yeah, it all depends what the game is and what the objective of the game is to.
Right. I mean,
I-
let's face it, Space Invaders, the movie, would be pretty short.
Yeah, I mean that's going to be pretty boring. Kevin Siegel says the whole point of Tomb Raider's reboot was to show the evolution, and I thought that the portrayal of the film was very well. They had to leave out a lot from the game script, although it was well done.
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying.
Right,
That's a
exactly.
perfect
Right, yeah.
summary. It really was. Like, I watched it, and the Evil Jay split apart, and they were like, "That was a really good movie." And I'm like, "Yeah, but they fucked up the story from the game."
Right.
Well, you got to realize,
Right,
Jay,
right.
it was only an hour and a half. Like, why don't you shut up?
Yeah.
But then we kind of shook hands at the end, and
Press the button.
yeah,
That's the joint.
And humanity.
and done. But no, look, and I think I did watch it a second time. It was done really well.
Okay.
I really had to make that hard separation between game and movie.
Well, there is that willing. It's weird. There's a term in cinema, willing suspension of disbelief, right? Which you need to take into any movie,
Right.
which I think
Yes.
an extra level is called for when you're talking about a video game,
And
because
most
you already have to have that
right
for the video
because you
game.
have to suspend a certain amount of disbelief.
Right.
But what makes it even more difficult is because of the fact that the Tomb Raider, that game, could have actually happened to anybody.
Okay.
There's nothing that really happens in that game that is outside of the realm of
See, that's cool.
possibility.
Yeah.
That
Right.
See, now you've just convinced me to go back and watch that movie. I never really had. I saw the first one. I never wanted to go back and see the reboot.
don't watch those films with Angelina Jolie.
No, well,
They
I already
were-
saw that one.
Yeah.
Before, you found out. It was
I
just
mean,
like,
they were because she comes into that role just as the video game early characters is.
Right.
You are badass Laura
You're
Croft.
already
Tomb
Lara
Raider.
Croft.
Yeah, you are little Laura who's stuck on the boat,
Right.
and now you're trapped on an island for
That's so
the
much more
survival of your
interesting.
life.
It's so.
It was
much more
so
interesting.
good.
Yeah.
And like there were certain, and they didn't overplay the whole tomb fact.
Right.
Like there were certain points in the game. I think there was maybe a total of 4 or 5 with an expansion pack. There was maybe 6 where you got to explore and had to figure out and solve the puzzles of these tombs that you were in. But there was no like grandioso treasure at the end. It was,
okay.
This is literally just a burial site for this person. But here's a few extra bits and bobs that you can use to buy weapon upgrades. It's not like you get the ultra mecha gun at the end of this. No, it's a tomb.
Yeah.
It's not a treasure hunt. It's a discovery.
Right.
Oh,
that's cool.
Yeah, it's really not about a treasure. There's no treasure theme to the
It's
story.
a discovery.
It is.
That's
it's
cool.
that whole game is a discovery of self for her being the Tomb Raider.
Right.
And by the end of it, it's she is this hardened individual. Now, again, I have no idea what the second and third games are because I have yet to play them,
Right,
and I'm
right.
going to
Right.
eventually when I get the time.
Right.
But-
We're done popping kids out.
Oh no, he has 3 more years now.
You shut your horn mouth. But yeah, so that's kind of one of
That
those.
is about the spacing, huh?
And even like as diehard a fan as I am to the Assassin's Creed franchise, they fucked up, bud. That movie,
I knew you were. I
that movie, it was because it's canon.
yeah.
What took place in that movie, they canonized for the games,
Uh,
and they came right out and said it like this is going to be canon. And again, suspending a certain amount of disbelief. I understand that they had to change certain things about it to make it visually more interesting. Did I hate the story that the movie did? No, I did not. But it could have been done a little better,
mhm.
especially if you've got a hot shot like Fazenbaker in that kind of in that large of a role.
Wow.
I don't know why, but I just thought that Fazenbaker
Yeah.
needed
yeah.
a pop. Yeah.
So for me, it was a disappointment, but I understood it because how can you take something that's has already been established that is this large, and you're not trying to condense backstory into a movie?
Mhm.
They're already saying you had better know what happens.
You better know. Yeah.
Because this isn't a new story. It's a new story, but we're not giving
We're
you
relying on you to know.
to know.
Yeah.
Like they do give little bits of back history with the assassins as far as like the ring and cutting off the finger and that sort of thing. But it could have been better. I've watched it twice, maybe 3 times, but it wasn't enough for me to keep like, this was a good movie. I got to watch it again.
Right.
I mean, will I enjoy watching it again when I do watch it? Yeah, sure, but I'm not going to seek it out.
Well, there's also that whole other level of entertainment too. I mean, I have lots of things that I look to as deep, meaningful, inspirational well springs of art, and then I have like, hey man, I need to be entertained for 2 hours.
Yeah. This is when you pop in Predator.
Hey. Speaking, I want to actually ask you something about Captain Marvel again. I know we've veered off topic. One thing that I did find interesting, and this is not something that anybody brings up because they're so preoccupied with Brie Larson's mouth. What did you think about a kinder, gentler Skrull? Like their portrayal of the Skrulls was way different.
But the portrayal was to keep her subdued, basically.
I know.
To try to keep her subversed.
I
mean,
think that that's something that's going to be very interesting if there's any more MCU films. How they're going now? Hey,
Well, they've already announced them.
right.
Yeah.
The whole MCU is alternate universe, which I love the fact that now my canon Nazi doesn't have to. I am a total canon Nazi. We didn't know that. My canon Nazi is up. Is assuaged by the fact that hey, this is all alternate universe. We can do whatever the hell we want, and I
Right.
like that. But like by portraying the Skrulls already, I mean, like there's not a whole lot of that in Marvel canon. I mean, like the Skrulls are pretty much you get the treatment of like these guys are assholes.
Mm-hmm.
yes.
I mean, I thought it was kind of interesting that in the movie we got to see a side of the Skrulls. It was almost like refugee, empathetic.
Yeah.
That was kind of interesting.
Yeah. Again, I mean, it was a good movie. There's no way to dissect it and say that there wasn't. It wasn't.
Yeah.
And if you think that it wasn't a good movie,
Well, you're wrong.
you're fucking wrong.
Yeah. You're fucking up, bud.
You're fucking up, but you are 10 play.
Tim High also says, don't skip through the dialogue in Assassin's Creed Odyssey. Ever.
He's talking about the game. He
Yes.
made some interesting life choices by basically being like, oh yeah, more dialogue and just hitting like,
Well, I don't do that anyway.
Yeah, right.
When it comes to those games, because you can literally miss
a lot of
everything-
stuff.
a lot
And you
of
make
stuff.
some interesting life choices.
I did finally. I got it finally. I did get the. There was a sale on the PlayStation Store, and I got like the Ultra Mecha Amazing version with the remastered version of Assassin's Creed 3, which I'm very interested in playing. Hopefully, I don't hate Connor so much because I did fucking hate his ass.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anywho,
I've been stuck on PlayStation 2.
you,
I've been replaying Champions of Norath for like the
Champions of
time.
who?
Champions of Norath.
there was it's still the dark time in the
It's
valley.
still the dark times of the valley. All right, let's move on.
when he starts drooling over, like, do you see there's a copy of Max Payne over there?
No, that will never happen.
We have been droning on and on here for a little
Yeah.
while. This is probably one of the longer episodes we've had in a long time.
It's good to be back.
Let's move on to the final segment of the show.
This is going to take a little while.
It's probably going to.
Yeah.
That
So just keep holding on, tune in. You're
hold
good.
on to my
What?
list.
Whoa!
The segment that Mikey introduced in the very first pilot episode, which is what are you listening to this week?
And what we've done every episode except
That one time where I
One
forgot, but we made up
time.
for it on the live stream, which was bonus
What was
content,
bonus content.
premium top fan.
Right.
You have to be a top fan to see that
Amen to
episode's.
that, right.
Right. What are you listening to
You
this
gotta be
week?
special.
Let's start with Jason, but let's do Mikey's pick first.
Okay. So what I've been listening to this week is also related very closely to
Okay.
what Mikey been listening to.
Oh,
And I gotta say, I have to thank Mike for reintroducing this into my life, or making me pay closer attention to something that I had been missing.
it's Foxy Shazam, isn't it?
Fuck you. No, so I had heard of this band. You know, I try to keep my ear to the underground,
Mhm.
kind of scene, and got my buddies in Europe that clue me into stuff, and and a while ago, back in like 2016, I had heard of this band, and it wasn't. And I was like, I heard a song. I heard actually the song that Mike has been listening to this week. I heard this back then. And, man, I was just like, oh man, I gotta check this band out more. I gotta get more. I gotta check more out. And life
It's Foxy
happens.
Shazam.
Life happens, and and then the new Foxy Shazam comes out. But like somehow it slipped away from me.
Mhm.
And Mike sends me this. I mean, I can't remember if he just sent it to me. He might have sent it to all of us or whatever. But it's like, hey, man, have you checked this song out? Or do you know this band? And I was like, oh, my God. Yeah. Hey, that's that band that I totally 2 years ago
Did the thing.
Did the thing
Yeah.
2 years ago. And so what Mikey has been listening to this week is a band called Church of the Cosmic Skull. And the song that I know, the one that he had sent to me to check out, which I know is what he's listening to this week, is called Evil in Your Eye.
Mhm.
And it is just an amazing, amazing, amazing song from all kinds of levels of tasty playing to just deep, awesome songwriting to execution of amazing interplay between vocalists and instruments. I mean, like, listen to this song. The band is a really interesting band. They're from Nottingham, England. It's a 7-piece band.
Wow.
There's guitar, there's bass, there's a Hammond organ, I just love
Hammond
this.
upright.
Yeah. There's an electric cellist.
Nice.
There's 2 full-time female vocalists and the guy Bill Fisher that plays guitar. He also sings. There is amazing dynamics and interplay between all the instruments and the voices. Some of the notables, some of the people from this band have been in other notable sort of underground bands, dystopian future movies, Mammoth Wing, Hellset Orchestra, and my favorite, "You Slut!" exclamation point. No, but they all got together, and it's kind of it's got a weird vibe. It's a band slash. I mean, I'll just go there and say it. They're playing on this whole band slash cult thing. They have 7 objects of things you got to listen to, but I don't even give a shit about any of that. This band is fucking phenomenal. I mean, like, if ELO, Coven, and King Crimson got together and impregnated Fleetwood Mac and got, I don't know, Santana to sit in on guitar. This is kind of like what you're getting.
Yeah, he's not wrong.
Wow.
I mean, it is an amazing...
Imagine Rob Zombie,
Yeah.
and his style of movie making with a prog rock 70s kind of sound.
Lots of prog rock 70s influence for sure. And they really have a great blend of, if you listen to, it's definitely inspired by a lot of 70s prog rock, but the recording techniques have a hint of modernism in it, which is really actually enjoyable. And I mean, like, the tone, that dude's guitar tone is absolutely gorgeous.
The tone.
All over the record. I mean, there's a plethora.
It was tone.
It was tone. He knew what to do with his hands. I mean,
I know what to do.
There's a plethora of amazing tones. It's a stylistic journey. There is everything from like 70s prog rock sounding stuff on the album to acoustic, folky kind of stuff to even like some doom metal-y kind of stuff.
Doom metal-y.
Doom metal-y. So anyways, thank you, Mikey, for making me revisit this album. The album was released in 2016. The name of the album is called Is Satan Real? They have since released a second album called Sci-Fi, which I think is really amazing. To me, it doesn't quite hit the same standards that the first one did. But both the track that Mikey's been listening to and the track that I'm about to name are off the Is Satan Real album. Mikey's track is Evil in Your Eye, which I probably might have picked had I not known that Mikey was absolutely going to. Amazing, amazing song. Another thing, check these guys out lyrically, because not only are they saying great things artistically with their instruments, there's some really interesting lyrics going on the record. The song that I'm going to pick is the title track, Is Satan Real? Only because it goes into this amazingly awesome King Crimson-y, like, just breakdown throughout a majority part of the song. And I mean, if you listen to it and can't get into it, I don't know, man, you're missing out.
Yeah.
So anyways, yes, both Mike's and I's choice, Church of the Cosmic Skull. Please check them out. Don't be off-put. I've recommended this band to people. Like, I literally went on a crusade.
Mm-hmm.
Like, after Mike turned me on to them again, and I went back and checked it out.
He's good for that.
He's great. I went out and like I knew that you had already, whatever. But I mean, you can ask my friends. I was like, did you check out this record? I mean, I must have sent 4,000 texts. Like, really, hey, listen to this record. It's amazing. And I know some people, I tried to tell them, like, I know the band name is Church of the Cosmic Skull, and you're not going to listen to it just because, like, you think that's some kind of whatever. Don't judge it by that. Like, literally, you've heard the...
Yeah, we've played it here at the store.
Yeah, I think, like, I tried to get Rick to listen to it a couple times. I was like, Rick, man, you got to listen.
He totally did. Like,
yeah, I was like, you got to listen to this record. And it was like a day or two. And I was like, did you listen to that record? And then a day or two went by, and I'm like, Rick's busy, but Rick, did you listen to this record? Because I knew he would totally dig it, because he's all about, 70s prog rock, And then, like, I think it was like 3 or 4 days after I sent him the text, all of a sudden I just got this message, and it was like, fantastic. And I was like, Rick, listen to the record. Don't be put off. Look that record up and listen to it. It is absolutely amazing. There's something there for everyone. It's a really, really, to me, it's like the best album in 2016. So, like, check that damn record out.
Sweet.
All right, I'm done.
What you got? I got here CCH for Cheapatana
out. Well, let's go over here to the post board. And Tim Highs, he said Demon Hunter every album.
He loves that band.
Well, give me a song, Tim.
Well, give him a minute.
Maybe the name of the song is every album.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
And Kevin Siegel, he lists, I've been listening to Satriani's Flying Mystical Potato Head Groove Thing. It's an oldie from a goodie.
You better slow down.
You better slow down
Flying
now.
Mystical Potato
Who?
Head
Satch.
Groove Thing.
Satch.
Satriani.
Satch.
Oldie but goodies from Flying in a Blue Dream.
Flying.
Tim High lists On My Side as the Demon Hunter album song that he's been digging. He sent me that. It's kind of cool. He was like, "This is Rory's fight song," and he sent me some stuff. It's pretty interesting stuff, man.
Well, we're gonna have 2 guests on the show playlist this week.
Yeah.
And I only get to listen to music whenever you
What song, Kevin?
Kevin On My Side. Oh wait,
No, that's
Flying
Tim's.
from Flying Blue Dream.
That's another record.
Oh, never mind. Kevin, you have to give a song.
Kevin, give us a song.
now.
Cheaper
Three,
China. What you
two.
got?
Do you have anybody notable who died this week? You're always good for that.
No.
Shit. Well, I mean, I guess it's good that nobody.
Yeah,
died this
nobody
week.
Well,
died.
last week
No.
Tim Conley.
Oh, that was Tim Conway that passed away last week. Yeah.
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 But that was last week. Yeah. He is very notable. Very funny.
Super notable, super
Yes.
funny. I have many memories of a child watching like the Carol Burnett show.
Most people do have the Carol Burnett show. I mean,
Yeah.
he had a lot of side things on his own, but yeah,
He
it was
did,
always-
but
that was the one that everybody remembers.
Yeah.
And 1981, Phil Collins, In the Air Tonight.
His delivery is awesome, dude.
No, is this the real one, or is this
Yes.
the one that you're gonna?
No, because
segue?
Tim Conway doesn't have a song that I know of anyway.
He probably does.
He probably,
but
yeah.
nothing
I mean,
to do.
everybody from that era, they pretty much do.
Phil
Yeah.
Collins.
But and it's Face Value is the album.
He's
We were listening to a lot of Genesis today, as a matter of fact.
we were
Flying
Because
Mystical
Rick
Potato
Wirtz
Head
loves
Groove Thing is
70s
the name of
prog
the
rock.
song. That
Flying
is the name.
Mystical Potato Head Groove Thing is
Is
a
the name
song.
of the song.
Fuck, I'll find it.
Track 2 on the Dream record.
Dream record.
That does not surprise me that Kevin. That's
Thank
a
you,
terrible-
Kevin.
Yeah, that's a Kevin song.
I believe the last pick he picked was also
The
Satch.
Kevin song? Oh.
Yeah.
He digs the Satch.
He does. He
Yeah.
likes the Satchmo. I'm doing something a little different this week.
Are we going to discuss what we experienced earlier?
No,
Okay.
we are not. I'm going to backpedal a little bit because outside of there's a particular thing that I've been jamming into my brain for weeks.
Wait.
that
Particular thing.
that I'm not at liberty to discuss just yet. But the last thing that I really, really listened hard to and have gone back and did a lot, I went with on a weekend trip with my daughter to Erie.
Yeah.
And when she had zonked out in the car, I had popped my earbud in and was listening to a lot of one of my favorite comedians who I'm very chomping at the bit for to see what he's going to do next, because it's just a major question mark at this point. But I went back and I listened basically on the way up and on the way back. I listened to every Bo Burnham album that was available on Spotify. And so my pick this week, a song that I really, really relate to because I often feel this way occasionally when it comes to being an artist, so to speak.
Oh yeah.
That one of the lines in the song is, I must be psychotic, I must be demented to think that I'm worthy of all this attention.
Mhm.
And like, I walk away some nights from a show thinking like, this is one of the greatest shows I've ever had, but do I really deserve that?
Yeah.
So it's just one of those, like, he speaks to me on a whole bunch of different levels.
Don't you
but
actually do a Burnham song in your live act?
I do.
Yeah.
Which didn't
Which I think is amazing.
which didn't go over quite as well the last time I played it.
I think it's
Play a country song. I'm
Right.
like, I've got one
I got
country
one.
song.
and
And I heard Al go,
Oh.
and I sure went and I played it. And especially when I went, y'all dumb motherfuckers want a key change? And they kind of, and it was funny because I don't remember who I said this to, but it was the dawn of realization that they had been insulted, but they didn't know it.
But it took a
Because my sister, who again is the funniest person that I know,
right.
and I mean anyone who's musically inclined know when he says, "Do you want a key change?"
Right.
The key of the song changes.
Yeah.
Because this is a common trick
Yeah.
in music. We
Yeah.
need to make this song longer, modulate at the end.
Yeah. Right.
So when I go, "Y'all dumb motherfuckers want a key change," and I go into the next chorus, and everyone's just kind of standing there like, I don't understand what he's trying to say here.
Yeah.
And then I heard my sister go, and she does this solo, like I do it too. Like you make that solo laugh
yeah.
where everyone looks at you because you've made a noise. But then they all kind of, because I'm watching the people, they all kind of looked at themselves and said, "We got made fun of again and we didn't catch it."
Right.
And, and I'm sitting there and I finished the end of the song and I'm waiting for because these were a country kind of crowd.
Yeah.
I was expecting
Oh, they're good folks.
some sort
Sure.
of, woo! And I got like, "What are you trying to say?"
Right.
And I went, "Oh, whew. Well, on to the next song. Hey, here's one you really like." So my pick this week is from Bo Burnham's Words, Words, Words album, and the song is "Art Is Dead."
Yeah, that's a great tune.
It was his first transition into being away from literally just a poop and pee joke,
Right.
into you finally started.
That guy says real things.
He does, and he wraps it up very, very well if you're not paying attention. And "Art Is Dead" was the first
That's meaningful.
sort of sign that you're like, I need to pay attention to what this guy's saying.
Every once in a while, comedy rises to a level of commentary and actual.
It really does, and
philosophical.
And Bo has knocked it out of the park repeatedly.
Yeah.
And I remember the first time that I saw it, like I didn't get it.
Right.
A friend of mine, of the family's, Mary. I remember she said, like, "You need to watch this because I think you'll find this is hilarious."
Mm-hmm.
And I remember watching the skinny tall kid going, "This isn't funny at all."
My first experience watching Bo Burnham was everybody said, "You need to watch this. You'll find it hilarious." I watched it and I thought, well, yeah, it's hilarious, but holy shit, it's deep.
Yeah, me.
Yeah.
Because he said to me, he's like, "I don't know, I gotta go home and do something. I don't know what I'm gonna do." And I'm like, "You're gonna go home and you're gonna watch the special on Netflix."
Yeah.
Because, and again, I watched his What special,
Mm-hmm.
and I didn't get it. I didn't pick up on it. And then it wasn't until I watched the Make Happy, which he no longer works at the shop with us, but a good friend of mine, Dylan, said before, he goes, "Dude, I cry every time I watch that."
Yeah.
And I'm like, I am right there beside you because I get it.
Yeah.
And it was one of those nights where I'm like, oh, God, who's this guy? And I watched the special and I'm, laughing along, having a good time. And then the very end happens and I went,
there's a shift there, isn't there? Yeah. Yeah.
I got to go back and watch this again. And then I watched it a second time and then a third time and a fourth time. And I said, I got to keep going backwards.
Mm-hmm.
And then you go and you watch What,
again.
and you go back and you watch What, and you're like, oh, it's happening here.
Right.
And then you go back and you watch Words, 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 and you're like, this is where it started.
It was actually, yeah, right.
It started here, and it's the culmination of everything that led up to that moment. And I don't know how he's going to do anything past that. Like he has since
for all point.
He has gone to like the next medium. He's done a few films where he's directed and produced, none of which I've seen at this point.
I haven't either.
But like everyone's patiently, and he's even made a few tweets occasionally. He's like, "I'm fine.
I'm still here.
I'm okay."
Yeah.
Because that was the biggest question was, his special, the last Netflix special was called Make Happy.
Mm-hmm.
And you really understood that he wasn't.
Mm-mm.
And, and everyone, like, "I'm okay. I'm still here. I'm fine. Thanks for asking. Just wait. It's coming."
Yeah.
So yeah, that for me, especially in a direct circle of people that I'm connected to, that song touches me in different ways because of, when he says, I'll just rattle it off real quick. The one line is, he goes, "Have you ever been to a birthday party for children where the one child won't stop screaming because he's just a little attention grabber? And then he grows up to be a comic or actor and is rewarded because he has never matured."
Right.
And I'm like, oh, I see
I
that
see that. Yeah.
in a direct sort of way, and I'm like, damn, he's just so spot on with, and I guess it's all subjective too, because you have to have had a similar experience to understand it.
Sure.
But
everybody knows somebody too.
right. So it's not that far removed, but yeah, that song was the first, just like, boy, he's on to something different, and it's going to be different. Whatever. So we got anybody else in the room? No? The ghost in the corner? No? You good?
Whoever's been running the
Shakes
plumbing.
Bernard showed up and said, "What's going on here?"
Who shakes Bernard?
I know, but hey, welcome, Shakes.
Hey, welcome, Shake.
Hey, show's over.
What's shaking?
Show's over 2.5 hours later.
Yeah, we're sorry you joined us late.
Yeah.
Check us in next time.
Check us out next time. I'm not going to give it the abridged speech. Guys, that's the end of the show. We've prattled on for way too long, but that tends to happen when you're having a good time. On behalf of everybody here, the Patreon members, we thank you for tuning in again.
Hold it, time out.
Shakes
wants
says
to know
you
if we're
actually are
actually
drinking. No, this isn't alcohol.
Yes, we are actually drinking. Yes, sir.
Well, not anymore
Well,
Oh,
yeah,
no,
because the show's over.
Yeah.
So from those of you who have been with us since day one to day 496,
Oh, Shakes wants to know
So
what
what
it
we're
is.
drinking.
We're drinking Suntory.
Suntory Toki.
Suntory Toki War 2.
It's a fine Japanese whiskey you can find at your local.
With guns. Oh, thanks, Tim.
Is it
No.
it's not Texas Al?
It might
no.
be
Oh,
Is this Texas Al?
no.
Where have you been, motherfucker?
Shakes Bernard says that I think he's referring to Suntory as crap.
I don't know. Either that or he's really sad that he can't have any. I'm not sure which.
You're entitled to your opinion.
I think for a $40 bottle of whiskey, it's pretty good.
So with that, with the trolls aside, thanks again for tuning in this week. We've had a great time. Hope you did too. We'll see you next time. Hopefully it's sooner rather than later, but you'll know when we get there. For the Wednesday Night Whiskey Committee, I am Jay.
I am Al.
I am Jason.
And I just awkwardly ended that. Once again, we are the Wednesday Night Whiskey Committee. Please listen responsibly.
Woo!
I'm
Yep.
leaving.
Albert Morris.
Albert Morris
congrats.
says, "Congrats, Jamie."
Albert Morris.
Yeah,
Albie.
Albie.
Thanks, Albie. I ran into Albie in the
Oh,
elevator.
Shakes called us weirdos. Thanks, you, man.
Where is this coming from? Like,
I don't know.
what are you basing this on? The 14 seconds of the show you saw?
He'd probably
He's
have.
right though. I'm a total
I mean, yeah,
fucking weirdo,
yeah.
I mean,
He'd probably have
on point.
probably have a better foot to stand on if he'd watched the other 2 hours and 15 minutes of it.
Right.
Yeah, what kind of Tim's jumping in now?
Tim's-
what kind of people
Tim's
drink
trolling
whiskey?
him, too.
He's trolling us.
Shakes is coming for us.
That's fine.
Oh, okay.
Good.
Thanks,
Good.
Shakes.
Shakes. I believe that refers to his detox in the morning.
DT and the Shakes.
DT and the Shakes.
It's a good band
That
name.
is a good band name. Weren't you in DT and the Shakes?
Shakes Malone.
Shakes Malone.
All right, that's it. That's the show.
We love you for real. Thank you.
Especially you, Shakes. You go ahead and shut that fucker down.
Oh, already.
Wait, I just want
Oh,
to.
you want to see what Shakes
I want to see
in?
what Shakes has to say.
You'll be laughing soon. Oh, so he's gonna turn us in.
It's just like a threat.
I
What
guess.
is this
Whatever,
about?
dude.
Thanks, Shakes.
I
Boy,
think.
boy.
Yeah, I think that Shakes is probably
You're a year late.
somebody we know and is being a dick. You know?
Oh well.
Whatever.
No threats.
Promises.
Oh.
He's got promises.
Oh,
No threats.
yeah.
Promises.
Promises in the dark. I
Where are you
guess.
coming for us at?
Love.
Love.
Oh, it's love.
It's not. It's not threats.
It's a
love.
bot. This is a bot.
He loves us. That's
But
good.
That's I don't.
We love Shakes too.
No. Good night.
Bye
Good night. Tune in next week.
for another episode.
The sun is not yellow.
It's chicken. I'm allergic to chicken, bro.
Oh man, he's allergic.
I might be allergic to the sun too, though.
Do you want to end your stream?
The Suntory.